and maybe there's a way that we can help them meet that capacity.
The White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre accuses refiners of choosing profits over help for consumers amid soaring gas prices.
The White House says there will be consequences for oil companies if they do not do more to get prices down for gas. Even though oil company CEOs have testified on Capitol Hill that they are not price gouging, and also they have said they don't control the price of a barrel of oil that's set by the global market.
Fox Business's Hillary Vaughn. Industry officials also argue that regulatory pressures from the Biden administration are weighing down capacity. Wall Street goes back to worrying about overall inflation. The Dow's down 658. The current vaccines won't be enough. That, in so many words, is what White House COVID advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci is telling lawmakers as waves of COVID variants continue.
Testifying before a panel of U.S. senators hearing an update on the nation's COVID-19 policies, National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease Director Dr. Anthony Fauci says new formulas of vaccines need to be developed.
To the anticipated emergence of new variants, the importance of developing the next generation of coronavirus vaccines is paramount. I refer to a vaccine that would be effective against all SARS-CoV-2 variants.
Fauci testified remotely after announcing Wednesday he had tested positive for the virus.
Fox's Evan Brown. Fauci is vaccinated and twice boosted and says his symptoms are mild. The Senate just passing a bill aimed at expanding help for veterans sick from exposure to toxic burn pits while serving overseas. That's now headed to the House. America is listening to Fox News.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Rising home values mean that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about their smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Giving it your all on the court? Make sure you have the right partner by your side. Highland's Leg Cramps Quick Dissolve Tablets. America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. No water needed, no stomach upset, just fast, effective relief. Also available in caplets. Highland's Leg Cramps. To healthy competition and beyond. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summer continues to be alive and well. A mix of clouds and sunshine, hot and humid this afternoon. Just a tiny chance of a spot thunderstorm, 95 today. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a spot thunderstorm late night, 75. Friday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Tiny chance of a spot thunderstorm, 95, but it's better, feels better anyway, on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Decision 2022 is here. Make your voice heard.
They've weaponized the science into a political weapon.
Download the podcast of your favorite show or stream the station live at 971talk.com.
It's Vladimir Putin's fault. It is not the fault of the current occupant of the White House. I just wanted to clear that up.
Decision 2022.
In case there were any of you out there who might have started to wonder.
Coverage sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes. Right here, right now on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494, or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Did you know there's a Space Channel?
One of the most exciting projects in the solar system.
Space Channel's got movies, original series, news, music, and so much more.
We have come to visit you in peace. Now we're getting to what they call the moment of truth.
Download the Space Channel app on your connected TVs and mobile devices. Just go to the App Store and search Space Channel. Do it now. It's free.
Space Channel. Front row seat to the final frontier.
When you discover a new favorite bottle of Cabernet or bourbon at Total Wine, you'll discover a whole lot more. So explore the wondrous selection and totally low prices at TotalWine.com, where you'll love what you find. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly, B21.
Before you begin digging your next outdoor project, save time and be safe by calling 811. Mark your project area with a water-soluble white paint or white flags to let utility locators know the location. Get more tips from Mango at mosafegas.com.
You can ask your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk. And stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community. It's all through the new Odyssey app. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you here today. You know, you look at the administration, the Biden administration, and you look at your own personal life, and you're trying to reconcile the two, aren't you? You're trying to see what is going on in your life. Can you do anything about it? And you're adjusting your plans. You're maybe driving less, maybe taking, if you're a family like mine and you've got to get to multiple places at the same time, how do we take less cars? How do we make less trips? You've adjusted your lifestyle. Most of us have, at least. And you've done pretty much what you can, but it's really not enough to curb the major impact of the economic situation that we're facing right now. We saw yesterday, we reported this as it happened during the show, that the Fed rose rates 75 basis points. And there's a report out there that they might do the same thing in July. The same amount. Whew, that's steep. Listen to the Fed Chair Powell on the issue.
The economy and the country have been through a lot over the past 2.5 years and have proved resilient. It is essential that we bring inflation down if we are to have a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. From the standpoint of our congressional mandate to promote maximum employment and price stability, the current picture is plain to see. The labor market is extremely tight and inflation is much too high. Against this backdrop, today the Federal Open Market Committee raised its policy interest rate by 0.75 percentage point and anticipates that ongoing increases in that rate will be appropriate.
So you hear that the likelihood of increases in the future, in his words, that's appropriate. Identifying that inflation is much too high. Well, it's good to hear that, because a lot of the other solutions that we're being told, for high gas prices is, if you want to drive an electric car, think about how much money you would be saving. Well, yeah, let me just go snatch one up here real quick. Here's more from him.
We anticipate that ongoing rate increases will be appropriate. The pace of those changes will continue to depend on the incoming data and the evolving outlook for the economy. Clearly, today's 75 basis point increase is an unusually large one, and I do not expect moves of this size to be common. From the perspective of today, either a 50 basis point or a 75 basis point increase seems most likely at our next meeting. We will, however, make our decisions meeting by meeting, and will continue to communicate our thinking as clearly as we can.
So I want to take you down a walk, because if you listen to the station, I'm assuming that you pay a little bit of attention to Fox News, and that might be kind of where you live. What are the other folks out there saying?
about the current economic situation in the country, because generally speaking, if you want to know that it's all roses for anything that has to do with the left side of the aisle, you can turn on some news networks and you can see that with a pretty confident regularity. Here's MSNBC's Steve Ratner.
There are several culprits. There's Biden and what he's done, and it's not irrelevant, but it's not.
And what is that?
Well, that is all the spending, basically.
Yeah,
the American Rescue Plan,
the relief
the $1,400 checks, the $2 trillion that you and I have talked about a lot that's on the sidelines. Half of that's government money that we gave people to spend, and now they're trying to spend it, so you get inflation.
Yeah.
And as we talked about the other day, left to its own devices, the administration would have proposed another $4 trillion.
So they're talking about how bad things are directly related to President Biden's administration and his policies, and saying, it could have been way worse if Biden really would have gotten his way. This is MSNBC. This is Steve Ratner at MSNBC. So is that how bad it is where we're seeing is it so bad right now economically for Americans that even MSNBC has to cover this economic crisis because they know even they can't blow smoke to cover up this dumpster fire? Makes you wonder what CNN has to say about it.
Put this inflation in context. How bad is the surge in prices?
It's awful. I mean, it's awful, and how people feel about it is even worse. You know, you look at the consumer sentiment right now, and what do you see? This is the worst consumer sentiment ever measured by the University of Michigan, going all the way back since 1952.
Wow.
You basically, even if you double my age, that doesn't get you back to 1952. And while I'm young, I'm not that young, right? The second worst, 1980. The third worst, 1980. I don't have to remind you, inflation got Jimmy Carter. It killed that presidency. And in terms of why are consumers feeling this bad? Well, it's pretty clear why they're feeling this bad. And that is because the consumer price index is the worst it's ever been in a midterm cycle since 74. It's the worst it's been in any presidential cycle or midterm cycle since 1980. So it's not much of a surprise. You can see it. It's literally off the charts on the table on your screen.
And how does President Biden's performance rate?
Awful. I mean,
I knew that was the answer.
The answer is awful. I mean, I'll compare it to Carter at this point in his presidency, right? Look at the disapproval rating Joe Biden has on inflation right now. It's over 70%. Carter was not even there at this point in mid-1978. When you're doing worse than Jimmy Carter's doing in the minds of Americans on inflation, you know that they're holding you responsible for the conditions that are currently on the ground that are hurting Americans in their pocketbooks.
Did you hear the way he said awful? His Anderson Cooper's question to him about the state of affairs, his response is awful. And Anderson Cooper replies, I know that was the answer, but. Which is really interesting to me. That's the little tidbit in that clip that was interesting to me. You know why? Because I think that Anderson Cooper was expecting a little bit more of a CNN spin on awful, but he didn't get it. And Anderson Cooper admitted, I knew that was the answer, but. Interesting. But is this all going to translate to the midterms? We have the January 6th hearings going on right now. I don't ever tell you about things that are going on right now because I don't want you to leave this radio show to go take in things that you can take in elsewhere and choose to pay attention to them instead of me. But I'm going to take a risk on this one. I'm confident enough in who's listening right now that you're not going to go, oh, those hearings on, because I'm pretty confident that the people who are watching these hearings have taken days off today to make sure that they can soak in every word of it. These hearings, they're really going to affect in a really big way what happens in the midterms.
Aunt Cheney, if you go over to Wyoming, look at her disapproval rating. And essentially what you see is that it has doubled, more than doubled, gone up by 40 points from before she voted to impeach Donald Trump to after voting to impeach Donald Trump.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. She is very much unpopular in the state. And if you look at the betting odds, whether or not she'll win re-election, only about a 10% chance that she will win re-election according to the betting markets at this point.
Only 10% chance? That can't be right, though. She's on the right side of history. She's going to get stumped. So you don't have that going, but that is a really special interest kind of focus where there's somebody primarying somebody, and it's a primary, so you can get the upset people all riled up in the primary. And if Liz Cheney, that's not indicative of the Democrats needing to really worry about what's going to happen this November.
But this district right now is one that voted for Barack Obama with more than 60% of the vote, voted for Hillary Clinton by more than 20 points. This is part of that story we've been telling since the 2020 election, especially along the border in South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, massive shifts towards the Republicans among Hispanic voters. And it's a story that's extended outside of Texas to South Florida, to other areas of the country. And it's a big one to keep an eye on this fall in the midterm elections. The Hispanic vote perhaps up for grabs in ways we haven't seen in recent elections.
It's looking pretty bad, Democrats. It's not looking good for you at all. In this moment in time, you know what could actually shore up maybe a few Democrats who aren't going to flee your party? Doesn't mean they're going to go vote for the Republicans in November, but you think they're going to keep voting for this drivel? I don't. You know what could shore up some votes for you? Do the right freaking thing. Look at what you're doing to this country with your green energy policies for a country that's not ready to absorb what you're trying to shove down their throats at their own expense, and do the right thing. Invest in America. Stop investing in other countries to the extent that that type of investment could really be helpful here at home. Or stop spending so gosh darn much. That's right, I said gosh darn. You heard it right here. So what are the Democrats going to do? Here's more from MSNBC.
Campaigns, we got to give them a reason to feel they have skin in the game, that this is important to them, that losing democracy is important to them. And whether or not it be telling women that, you know what, women, you think you're losing your rights now? What do you think is going to happen if we don't have democracy? You know what, African Americans, particularly African American men who are showing the lowest motivation to turn out in this midterm, you think things are tough for you right now? Where do you think you're going to stand in a country in America where there's no democracy, where they have absolutely no interest or at all in respecting your rights? We've got to let these people understand that they've got skin in this game, and we got to scare the hell out of them, because quite frankly, Nicole, they should be afraid that we're going to lose our democracy.
There you have it, folks. The fear mongering is coming. What's going to happen to you women if Republicans get in office? You got to be afraid of what's going to happen to you. What's going to happen to you black folks when the Republicans take back ownership of the House of Representatives or the Senate or eventually even the White House? You better be afraid of what those mean, scary Republicans are going to do. I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to work towards $3 gas. They're going to work towards having baby formula on the freaking shelves that we don't have to get from Europe, to import our baby food from a foreign country so that we can feed our babies. They're going to make sure that we don't have to go to other countries and beg dictators to give us oil, to start pumping oil so that we can afford the energy within our own country. That's what's going to happen, folks, when Republicans get back in charge. And trust me, when that happens, I'm going to be on these Republicans as hard as I can be, because just what we need, just what we've seen before is Republicans, they win and then they cave. No cave. This person here, Cornell Belcher, on MSNBC, wants you to know that it is a scary, scary proposition if the Republicans are to take control again. Well, Republicans take control again and then act like conservative Republicans and then see the country flourish. Is it going to happen immediately? Probably not, because I don't know that Joe Biden's going to play ball with these Republicans. Even better, if he chooses not to play ball, that ushers in a 2024 presidential situation that would benefit the country as well. They want you scared. They are now at the point, the Democrats are now at the point where the midterms in November are so frightening to them that the only thing they can do to win votes back is to, in their words, scare the hell out of you. Now, if you're sitting here, you meek and mild women who are just like me, meek and mild and incredibly subservient and respectful. That's for you, Dad. If you're sitting there and you're waiting until November for the government to get their act together so they can solve your problems, I don't know any women like that in my life. I got to tell you what, none of them are like that. The women in my life want to fix problems. They want to feed their babies. They want to make sure they can afford the gas so that they can go work the job that they're trying to make money at so that they can maybe even take a vacation this year. The women in my life are not sitting around, biting their fingernails and fretting over what the government's going to do next and if they're going to make the right move so that their lives can be the lives that they want. No, they want the government to get the heck out of the way. Why? Because the government is always inserting itself into every single problem that it has created in and of itself so that it can show up on election day and tell you how they plan to fix it. And then they tell you the same dang thing 2 years later when they're going to fix it again. And if that doesn't work, they try to scare you. Well, I'm scared of big government. I'm scared of people who want to go to Washington, D.C. and take over in mass form and spend all of our money and ship our money over to foreign countries to provide aid for them that we're not providing for our own people. I'm tired of that. And the women in my life, that's the special interest group that the Democrats really think are weak enough to be freaked out by their fear-mongering, as if the American women in your life are sitting there worrying and waiting for the government to show up and say, how can I help? I know you don't know those women. The women in your life are strong, the women in your life are independent, and the women in your life know what's best for their kids, and this ain't it. Listen to this guy.
His answer to all this misery, he tries to tell us that we're only in a recession, not a depression, as if definitions, words, relieve our suffering. Let it show on the record that when the American people cried out for economic help, Jimmy Carter took refuge behind a dictionary. Well, if it's a definition he wants, I'll give him one. A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his.
Yeah, we're going to do that again. Thank you, Ronald Reagan, for putting the cherry on top of a segment filled with CNN and MSNBC panicking over the disastrous policies of the man they got elected. Let's talk to Hans von Spakovsky in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
'Cause I don't want to leave the comfort of this place. 'Cause there's a hunger.
Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022. Coverage sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes.
So if you're looking to replace some flooring in your home, or if you're establishing new flooring in a home or an office or something like that, one of the reasons why I want you to check out Michael's Flooring Outlet. They have 3 locations in St. Louis. They are a St. Louis family-owned and operated business. So when you shop with Michael's Flooring Outlet, you're shopping with your neighbors and you're supporting your community. I think that's fantastic. He is fantastic at what he's built with these 3 different locations. And he gives you the quality products that you are looking for at great values. I want to talk to you about the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk Carpeting. I love carpet in my house, and if you are looking for a great carpet for yours, enjoy the silky softness, the superior performance, and here's the technical part of it: 3 times more individual fibers than any ordinary non-nylon carpet. This is what makes this carpet a cut above the rest. Each strand of Smart Strand silk carpet is packed with 700 silk-like stain-resistant fibers. You'll get all of the details and all of the expertise of the customer sales staff at Michael's Flooring Outlet when you go visit them, but you can check out it all online, see what products they have in stock, also how to get a free estimate at igotfloored.com.
I'm Mike Carter, and I voted in 1999 for conceal and carry here in Missouri. Guns empower citizens. Foreign governments have said they would never invade the United States because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass. I like the sound of that. Not only was the Second Amendment meant to protect us from our own government, the world knows Americans value their Second Amendment rights and won't see them compromised like in some other countries. I'm Judge Mike Carter, Republican for State Senate in District 10. Your Second Amendment is safe with me. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. I'm Mike Carter, Republican for State Senate in the new 10th District. Our new district stretches from Fulton and Callaway County to Montgomery City, Troy and Lincoln County, Louisiana and Bowling Green and Pike, Wentzville and Forrestal. Welcome to Trump country in our new state Senate district. What connects us are the things we love, our flag, our country, our freedoms. Like President Trump, I'll defend the unborn, our Second Amendment, and your tax dollars. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. Paid for by Team Mike Carter, Mike Carter Treasurer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrentonVision.com.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great! Because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
SheriKelly.com.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Think that you are hiding too.
Stop. Do you know anything about the guy taking the photo, and is he some nefarious character?
Not that I know of. I mean, I did not know everybody that was in the group, as most members of Congress.
So why won't you go
know.
testify, they say?
They haven't asked me to. They keep asking you guys to have me come. They keep releasing this stuff to the media, but they don't send me the letters. I mean, this is a year and a half ago. They could have picked up the phone and called me. All of them have a house phone book, could call my 5-digit extension. Many of them have my cell phone. Said, hey, we know that you had a group in the Capitol office buildings, not in the Capitol. I would have talked to them about it. I would have shared information because there's nothing there. But they want to act, they want to do personal destruction.
So Representative Loudermilk with Laura Ingraham last night, who was, I guess, with that tour, I think. Is that what was that, Brad?
Yes.
With the tour and taking pictures. And
there's a guy taking pictures.
There's a lot of drama around that. But then he says They haven't asked me to testify. It's very interesting to constantly see the storyline that's being put out there for the American people to consume that causes a lot of questions to surround the storyline that's there, but there's nobody to ask the other side of the aisle's questions on any of this. I wonder what Hans von Spakovsky thinks of this. He is with us today, a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a DOJ lawyer, and the former FEC commissioner. Hans, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, when you're watching, let me ask you this first. Have you watched any of the January 6 hearings?
Yeah, unfortunately, because of my job, I've been forced.
You're tied to a chair and you're saying, open your eyes. What is your thought process on what the American people who are just sitting down with popcorn or something and watching this, what are they being presented and how do you feel about that?
It's very clear that what the Democrats are doing here is this is like the kind of show trials the Soviets under Joseph Stalin staged in the 1930s. Look, they wanted this to be a political trial, and we know that because they hired the former president of ABC News to basically manage and produce these hearings like political theater. And they're not interested in what happened on January 6th. What they're interested in is trying to spread this false idea that there was basically a coup d'etat going on. I mean, look, nobody excuses the criminal trespassing that occurred, but the idea that this was some kind of organized revolt is ridiculous. But that's what they're doing. Look, everybody refers to this as the January 6th committee. What they ought to be referring to it as is the January 6th House Un-American Activities Committee, because the tactics it's using are just like the ones that Senator Joe McCarthy used.
Wow. You know, I think you're talking about some things that are in historical context that I hear repeated a lot. And, you know, I think that maybe some of the historical context, we could use a little basic refresher on it. So talk to me about McCarthy and how what you're citing took place. We've seen this before. This is why history is so important to be taught. We're seeing it again. Connect those two for me.
Well, keep in mind that this committee has issued hundreds of subpoenas, deposed all these people who really had nothing to do with what actually happened at the Capitol. You know, the criminal trespass into the building. They've been using it to go after people they consider their political opponents. And that is kind of what what Joe McCarthy was doing. Remember, he came up with this idea that there were communists inside the federal government at every level. And he started subpoenaing and pulling people in and making all kinds of defamatory and false claims about them. And that is what's going on here too. I mean, it's the same kind of thing. And keep in mind that, yeah, what happened at the Capitol was wrong, but it was something that happened one day. It generated a massive federal investigation, all these people criminally charged, many of them still sitting in jail today. Compare that to the violent riot that happened throughout the entire summer of 2020, which the Justice Department has done absolutely nothing about, and Congress, the Democrats, have refused to do anything about that at all. You know, that resulted in much greater damage, arson, looting, all these kinds of things, and they just ignore that.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. You said a phrase here that kind of triggered a connection to me in my mind. You said that they're using this as an opportunity to investigate their political opponents. Isn't that what they impeached Donald Trump for with his Zelensky call, suggesting that he was trying to use his powers to investigate a political opponent?
Yes, and it turned out to be totally false, really. But
again,
they obviously must be looking at themselves in the mirror, because what they keep accusing the other side of doing is stuff that they actually do.
It is so frustrating to watch. I mean, I sat down and I watched the entire first day of it, and it was jarring to see the images of people storming the Capitol building. To see that again, I covered that live on the air because it happened in the middle of the day, of course. And watching those images, it did, stir up emotions in me. I think it would stir up emotions in everyone. I heard Brian Kilmeade's show airs right before ours did, and he was playing a clip from Rachel Maddow, who said, it's important to understand that the Trump rally had thousands of people there. It wasn't even close to where the Capitol breach took place, and that there's a difference between the thousands of people who came to that rally. I mean, this is Rachel Maddow saying this. It seems to me that there has to be this sort of distinction between the people who came to see the president of the United States and the people who unlawfully breached the Capitol building.
Yes, which was a relatively small handful of individuals compared to thousands of others. And look, the whole way this is being falsely treated by the media and the members of that committee is just look at this one fact, and that is that Liz Cheney, who is the token so-called Republican on the committee, picked by Nancy Pelosi. Whenever she talks about and tries to blame Trump for this, she always leaves out his wording when he was at that rally giving a speech about how he told the crowd that they should do everything peacefully and civilly. And she always leaves that out because what does that do? That negates the storyline that they're trying to push.
Yeah. So we have the January 6th hearings taking place. There's like 4 seasons of them, each with 10 episodes. I don't know how many. I think there's 7 total. And they continue. Each one has a specific topic to it. Do you expect there to be any sort of charge that is the culmination of these hearings? Like at the end of this, what do we have to show for it? Do we just get it out of our system?
Well, I think the Democrats are hoping that this will help them in the November elections. That's the only reason they're doing that. Yeah. And keep in mind, these January 6th hearings are going on at the very time when we have these vulgar, loud, dangerous protests going on at the homes of Supreme Court justices. We just had one of those protesters arrested because he wanted to assassinate a Supreme Court justice. And what is the U.S. Justice Department doing about that? Absolutely nothing. There's a federal law that prohibits these kind of protests at the homes of justices because it's clearly an attempt to intimidate a justice when a case is ongoing. And Merrick Garland refuses to enforce that law.
Is a Department of Justice lawyer, Hans? I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like our justice system is broken, that it is a political tool and you're connected or you're not. You're on the right side of the aisle or you're on the wrong side of the aisle, and that we have a 2-track justice system. Is that how you see it?
Well, I see it in that it really depends on who the Attorney General is. Okay, go back to the prior Attorney General, Bob Barr. Bob Barr was a straight shooter. Yeah, he may have been appointed by a Republican president, but he believed in the nonpartisan enforcement of the law, and that's how he acted the entire time he was the Attorney General. On the other hand, you'll get somebody like Merrick Garland in, you get somebody in like Eric Holder, and they believe in using the Justice Department as a partisan tool to advance their political party's interests. And who's the head of the department makes a very, very big difference. And all you got to do is contrast their records and you can see that.
Should it be that subjective? You've got a Merrick Garland versus a Bill Barr, and it should be able to sway that much?
No, it shouldn't. And what that means is that, frankly, the Senate needs to do a better job when they're reviewing the records of individuals who've been nominated to be the head of the Justice Department. And they have to be sure that they don't get people in who are willing to basically weaponize what is the most powerful law enforcement agency in the United States. Because remember, it's not just the Justice Department. The FBI is part of the Justice Department, too.
Yeah, on either side. I mean, justice needs to be blind. Thank you today, Hans, for being here with us. We always appreciate your insight, and there's going to be lots to talk about in the coming weeks, certainly with the Supreme Court and these hearings, and we look forward to having you back.
Great. Happy to be back anytime.
All right. Sounds good. Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, DOJ lawyer, author of the book, Our Broken Elections, How the Left Changed the Way You Vote. Go get that book today and read it. Let me know how you liked it. And I will tell him next time that we are on the air together. We're going to take a quick break. Guys, this is kind of a late last minute book, but Senator Roy Blunt's going to be with us. What could I possibly talk to Senator Blunt about? How about guns and gun control framework that he has agreed upon? Let's get to the bottom of what his thought process is on supporting this on the face. It is a framework, as we have heard from them. Now we get details. What do those details look like? And what is Roy Blunt willing to support? We'll ask him in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Tim Fitch. Of course, that's not the way that Mr. Page presented it. He basically said, I'm not releasing this still because of the advice I've received from the U.S. Attorney. Al Goldsmith said, you can release what you want to release. I'm not stopping you.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
So air comfort.
This is Judge Mike Carter, Republican candidate for state Senate in the new 10th District. Whether you're from Lincoln, Pike, Montgomery, Callaway, or St. Charles County, we all want to safeguard our freedom. We don't need Washington making personal decisions about health or education for our families or children. I believe in personal freedom and believe that our rights are enshrined in the United States Constitution and not at the whim of unelected bureaucrats. I'll put my knowledge and experience to work for you, protecting those rights, opposing tax hikes, keeping families safe by opposing those who want to defund the police, making small businesses and family farms a priority, and safeguarding our Second Amendment. I'm running to bring decision-making back where it belongs, with we the people. I hope you'll take the time to go to MikeCarter.com to learn more about what I want to do for you. I'm Mike Carter, and I hope to earn your vote to be your next Republican state senator, paid for by Team Mike Carter.
Air Comfort Service online at aircomfortservice.com. Right now, if you need an air conditioner, you need to reach out to Air Comfort Service to get a free estimate on a new air conditioner for your home, for your place of business. Get that free estimate with them right now. Don't put it off. You're not going to have to wait days or weeks to get an estimate or to have new HVAC equipment installed in your house. It is too hot to put this off. If your air conditioner is not working correctly and you know you need to replace it, please consider calling them to make sure that you get your system back up and running and into your comfort zone as soon as possible. Air Comfort Service has been my family's go-to. You can trust them to come into your house, to be honest with you, and to give you the most respectful response that fits your budget to make sure that they can work with you. 0% financing options, also rebates that are wonderful that can help you save some money. Reach out to Air Comfort Service today to get that free estimate scheduled. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Online at aircomfortservice.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gsLhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
What we're doing is necessary, but it's not sufficient. When it comes down to these assault weapons and the fact that there are millions of them in circulation in the United States and that 18-year-olds can purchase them, even though the framework addresses background checks for them in more detail, we know that there's much more that needs to be done. The really decision as to whether or not that's going to take place is in November in the election. People have to decide who they want to make these decisions in the months to come. This is not the last of gun safety legislation, and it isn't the end of gun violence in America, but it's an important start.
So that's my Senator Dick Durbin in the state of Illinois talking about the framework that was established, an agreeable framework established by the Senate on a bipartisan level. I'll read from the senator's group statement. Our plan increases needed mental health resources, improves school safety and support for students, helps ensure dangerous criminals and those who are adjudicated as mentally ill can't purchase weapons. More importantly, our plan saves lives while also protecting the constitutional rights of law-abiding Americans. We look forward to earning broad bipartisan support and passing our common sense proposal into law. One of the senators, Republican senators, is your Missouri Senator, Roy Blunt, who joins us now, who has supported this framework. And we're very excited to have him on to discuss that with us today. Senator Blunt, thank you so much for coming back on with us. It's great to have you here.
Hey, Amy, great to be with you and great to talk to you about this issue.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, it's exciting to have you on the Andy Frey Show so that you can talk to the listeners, because this is an issue that is really, really important to the people here that are your constituents. And I'm going to tell you, I braced myself when I went to read what the framework was. And there's nothing that's listed in the, higher level framework that immediately made me go, absolutely not. But there are a lot of places where the details could really get in the way. I'm just going to give you the opportunity first to talk about why you lent your support to the initial framework.
Well, when this comes up, we always all start with, well, we need a better mental health delivery system. Not that people with mental health challenges are dangerous and in fact are more likely to be the victim of a crime than they are the perpetrator of a crime. But we go through the same thing every time. And as it turns out, we have a mental health delivery system in Missouri that's really producing great results. It's something Senator Stabenow, a Democrat from Michigan, and I introduced in 2013. And Missouri's well along the way of showing what happens when you treat mental health like all other health. And the proposal that's out there, most of the money, about 80% of the money, would go toward allowing every state to participate in that kind of mental health program where you treat mental health like all other health. Obviously, school safety is something we're all for, and we all know that there are a lot of challenges, COVID-based and isolation-based and other reasons with not just adults, but with young adults and kids who have been challenged in the last few years. So making a real step forward on mental health, I think important, making a step forward on school safety, important, being sure that you have dealt with the issue of whether an 18-year-old that wants to purchase a weapon, and this bill does nothing to change that, except it just says that if you're 18 and want to purchase a weapon, or the framework says, you'd have to reach back and make your juvenile records available. Doesn't say you'd have to make them available, but if you were going to buy a weapon before you were 21, you'd have to make them available. If you look at the Uvalde shooter, he went to buy a gun on his 18th birthday that he couldn't have bought the day before. And it's like you're born that day under most states' current law, because your juvenile records are sealed. Your past records that would be available if you were 21, from between 18 and 21 are sealed. So everybody seems to kind of understand the importance of adding that. And as you pointed out, when you look at the framework, there's really nothing in the framework that people who are defenders of their Second Amendment rights should be all that concerned about. I'm involved in this. Senator Cornyn's involved in this. We both have an A rating from the NRA. We met 21 years ago on a hunting trip, and we've hunted dozens of times together since then. We're not going to be part of taking away people's Second Amendment rights, but here's an opportunity to do something that can, one, make schools safer, and two, give people with behavioral health challenges the help they need before it spins off into some area that usually becomes, Amy, first suicidal and then later maybe homicidal. But almost all of these school shooters intend to be killed in the process. So that's sort of a suicide wish as well. We just got to have a better mental health delivery system. We all know that. We've got a pattern that works in our state and 8 other states. This is a chance to expand that rather than just say every time we need to do more about mental health.
That is so true. Senator Blunt joining us right now, one of the bipartisan senators who supported the framework of what was being called a gun control package. I didn't see a lot in there that was directly about guns. And I will say personally, I'm not speaking for everybody listening here, but what you're talking about, connecting those juvenile records to the purchase of a gun on 18, having to release those, seems so obvious to me. And I really hope that something like that does get put through. The one question that I get the most, and I'm getting right now as I have comments coming into the show, is about red flag laws. And, you know, I think that there are many instances where we've seen these school shooters or people, you know, the Buffalo incident in the grocery store, where there should have been an event that triggered somebody from getting to the point where they had the access and the ability to go do what they finally did, because there were warning signs all over the place. But it's very hard to put that together with other people's Second Amendment rights when we're talking about red flag laws. How do you view red flag laws? What is a red flag law to you, and what's your support for them?
Well, I think the number one thing you'd want with any kind of law that crisis intervention or red, whatever you want to call it, would be to be sure that there is due process guaranteed. And I think the one thing in the framework that is for sure there is more things to encourage states that have red flag laws, and there are 19 of them, to have to include due process rights before the
removal of guns. So if somebody flags me because they are mad at me and they come take my guns, but I'm in an abusive relationship, I mean, I have to go through that due process before the guns are removed from my access, correct?
I think that should be correct. And of course, Missouri's not going to have a red flag law. You know, we're pretty clear in our state, and the governor and I talked about this the other day when we were talking about the really positive things we've done in Missouri on school safety, where if you ask for the Highway Patrol to come and do a total school safety review of every building in your district, they will do that. But we also pointed out, based on where our legislature is, there's really virtually no foreseeable future where Missouri passes that kind of law, but there may be some other kind of protective law that Missouri already has that somehow we can look for ways to help make that work better in a way that you have the protection you need, but there's a way, if there's imminent danger to yourself, that you might endanger yourself or others, that something needs to be done, but that needs to be done with the total understanding of due process. And, you know, there are suicidal situations where I'm not sure you can say, well, we'll see you in court in 2 days and see whether you should have this weapon or not. But there has to be a due process before you could compromise your Second Amendment rights. You know, I'm a big supporter of the Second Amendment. I think what happens here will have Second Amendment protections. And I understand the politics of this, by the way.
Sure. It's very, very charged. You can't even say red flag without that's its own red flag.
You can't say or gun reform. There's nothing you can really say here that doesn't immediately say, well, I can't be for that. Senator, you know, I think we're a situation here where we can do some things that are very positive, that have some impact on our current gun laws, but most of that impact is left up to states as it is now.
Is there a federal?
19 states have a red flag law, but that doesn't mean that Missouri would ever have to have one.
Can the federal government, as a senator,
law.
can you do that? As a senator, can you come together and put together a federal red flag law that would then apply to Missouri? Maybe Missouri doesn't pass it as a state, but it gets passed federally.
You know, I suppose we could, but my view was we shouldn't. And my view was that even if I agreed, that I doubted that there would be 60 votes in the Senate to do that. And so that's not even under consideration. There is no chance under this bill that there will be a federal red flag law or that Missouri will have a red flag law. There is every chance under this bill that the 19 states that do have red flag laws would have encouragement. And I haven't seen what that's exactly going to look like or not, but we know we want those states to be sure that they have a fair constitutional due process procedure in their state so that the Second Amendment rights are protected.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also taken taken their law and looked at it again and say, here's where we think your law could be better.
Senator Blunt joining us right now to talk about the bipartisan group that put together, it's being called a gun control package, but I actually looking into it, there's nothing in the framework that's really hardcore about guns and purchasing them. It has a lot more to do with mental health and school safety. The one last question I wanted to ask you about the red flag laws is, when these are implemented, who gets to make the determination whether or not an individual gun owner gets to keep that gun? Is it law enforcement? Like, who is equipped with the right to take those guns away and make that decision for that person?
Well, I'm no expert in the 19 states that have it, and I assumed we would not have one in any foreseeable future. So I'm not looked at those 19 laws, but my guess is they're going to be similar, but there are also going to be slight differences in all of them because it's what the legislature in those 19 states decided to do. And my guess also, Annie, is that some of them are not very strong at all, and some of them are probably stronger than you and I would think they should be without the ability that we would like to encourage to be sure that they have the due process that laws like that, the Second Amendment requires, in my view, that laws like that would have.
Okay, last question.
I think the point you're making is really very good here. When you hear this is some kind of gun control legislation, you think one thing, but when you really look at what we're talking about doing, it's hard to find that. And then people say, well, it's just a step down the road toward that. Of course, that's not right. And we have, in our state, a few years ago, you had to go to the local sheriff or something to get a permit to have concealed carry. We reversed that. That's what the state legislatures have the ability to do. A lot of things, and over the years that has waxed and waned. And we're clear to the point now where, for lots of reasons, people are appropriately concerned about their Second Amendment rights. And any legislation we move forward, I think, will reflect the importance of those Second Amendment rights.
Senator, just procedurally, when do you expect there to be some details on something that would we'd get the details of what could be passable?
Well, I think one, you want the right details, but probably the sooner the better, so that instead of having these discussions about things that aren't there and aren't going to be there, that you have real legislation to talk about, and you begin to see that this is just as you described it: school safety, mental health assistance, more counseling for school systems and things like that. And frankly, I haven't talked to anybody who didn't understand that if you're going to have a background check, how you can let that 18-year-old person step up as a gun buyer and effectively have no background.
Yeah. Well,
nobody thinks that makes sense for the 21-year-old person who, when they step up to get a gun, they have 3 years of everything they've done that might possibly affect whether or not they'd pass the background check or not. The 18-year-old doesn't have 3 minutes of that on their 18th birthday. And I think people get that pretty easily. And I believe when they see the final product here, they'll see the Second Amendment protections that are there, but also the right societal steps we need to take for people that have mental health challenges to have the help they need. And let me say one more time, what I don't want to come out of this, I've spent a lot of time on this mental health issue. What I don't want to come out of this is any suggestion that the 1 in 5 adult Americans, and now a lot of kids, that the National Institute of Health says has a mental health issue that's almost all that's treatable. That somehow that having a mental health issue is any more dangerous than having another health issue. But at some point, for a very small part of the population, when those issues are untreated, you become dangerous to yourself. You'd prevent more suicides with mental health that works than you would homicides. But of course, the homicides are unacceptable.
Yeah.
19-year kids that killed in their classroom or people killed in their local grocery store is not an acceptable situation.
Yes.
And we know that both of these shooters were incredibly troubled and could have been helped at some earlier time if there'd been a system in place to do that.
Senator, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on here to talk about it, and we look forward to hearing those details soon. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Me too. Great to talk to you.
All right.
See you soon, I
Yep.
hope. Bye.
All right, sounds good. I'll tell you what, the left hates this framework, and they wanted it to be way worse. Let's talk about it more in the next hour. We'll be right back.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
The former vice president in the spotlight, Elisa Brady, Fox News. In their latest hearing just underway, the Capitol Riot Committee turning attention to the post-election pressure on Mike Pence to overturn election results by stopping Congress's certification of the Electoral College vote on January 6th.
Vice President Pence understood that his oath of office was more important than his loyalty to Donald Trump. He did his duty. President Trump unequivocally did not.
Wyoming Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, Pence's former chief counsel, just telling the panel the first time he discussed electoral certification was in early December, with Pence asking for clarification about how the joint session of Congress would work. The 18-year-old accused of a racially motivated mass shooting that killed 10 people in a Buffalo grocery store last month makes his first court appearance on federal charges.
Peyton Gendron was officially informed of the 26 federal charges he faces, including 10 counts of committing a hate crime resulting in death. He was assigned a federal public defender and did not enter a plea. U.S. Magistrate H. Kenneth Schroeder urged prosecutors to be clear on how they will proceed with the hate crime charges, which can carry the death penalty. He noted seeking that can be expensive to taxpayers. Prosecutors say they will convey the message, perhaps alluding to U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland saying Wednesday he would consult victims' families on the death penalty if Gendron is found guilty.
Fox's Gernal Scott, a senior ISIS leader captured in northern Syria, the U.S.-led coalition fighting the group making the announcement. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre.
The operation was successful. No civilians were harmed, nor were there injuries to coalition forces or damage to coalition aircrafts or assets.
The captured terror suspect described as an experienced bomb maker and facilitator. America is listening to Fox News.
If you're in the market for a new home or your dream home, go with a lender you can count on for competitive rates. Over 300 loan products and thousands of loan consultants to help make sure you get the home and the mortgage that you want. Call now to see if you're pre-approved. 866-888-LOAN. 866-888-LOAN. Or go to LoanDepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Giving it your all on the court? Make sure you have the right partner by your side. Highland's Leg Cramps Quick Dissolve Tablets. America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. No water needed, no stomach upset, just fast, effective relief. Also available in caplets. Highland's Leg Cramps. To healthy competition and beyond. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summer continues to be alive and well. A mix of clouds and sunshine, hot and humid this afternoon. Just a tiny chance of a spot thunderstorm, 95 today. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a spot thunderstorm late night, 75. Friday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Tiny chance of a spot thunderstorm, 95, but it's better, feels better anyway, on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The features you always dreamed of are here. We're talking about rewinding the radio. Mark Cox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian Kilmeade.
How about this?
Annie Fry.
Wow, we really got to change course.
Mark Reardon.
Coming together.
Dana Lash.
I mean, it's 2022.
Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like. Or catch up on entire shows within 24 hours of air. 97.1 FM Talk. Experience the rewind on the Odyssey app.
This is Judge Mike Carter. As the judge for Wentzville and an attorney, I've had the honor of working with Lincoln County Prosecutor Mike Wood and St. Charles Prosecutor Tim Lomar. We all share a great respect for the rule of law and keeping our families and communities safe. Cori Bush, AOC, and the others demanding to defund the police don't have a clue. As your next Republican state senator, I'll oppose those who want to defund our police and tie the hands of our law enforcement. As a judge, I know firsthand how dedicated our law enforcement professionals are. Our police and sheriff's deputies put their lives on the line every day to keep our families and communities safe. They will know that as your state senator, Mike Carter has their back. I'll also protect our Second Amendment rights and see that strong laws are in place to dissuade those who think they can come here from St. Louis or elsewhere to break in your car or home. I'm Mike Carter, and I want to earn your vote to be your next Republican state senator. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. Paid for by Team Mike Carter.
Texting has really been a great thing. It has changed the way we communicate, because a lot of people, back when cell phones didn't have as much capability, at least to text, didn't like making phone calls, and they still don't. And if you're one of those people, I highly recommend you use, here's a weird transition, follow me here, use Fountains Family Dentistry, because you can make all of your appointments online. You don't even have to call them. So it's convenient. It's not just about having phone anxiety. I don't even know if I made that up. I just think there are people who do that. It's about the convenience of being able to log on right now, wherever you are, whether you're at your desk or you got your phone. You can go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com and just see what they have available and make your appointment right now. You can find one that's coming up soon. If you really want to get your teeth cleaned, just get it done, or you want to schedule yours out like we do. My family, I like to have all my kids and everybody all at once to make that very easy. So you can see what they have available, and that's what's nice. Fountainsfamilydentistry.com. It's in Fairview Heights, Illinois. Make Dr. Ty Parker your dentist. Fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494, or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Red Brick Roofing, wherever you live, from Chesterfield to Crestwood, from Tenac to Ferguson, Limay to Ladue, Town and Country and more. Warson Woods to Wentzville, the one you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
314-645-2000. Aren't you tired of hearing ads that say they're the best, they're the experts, blah, 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 just one unsubstantiated claim after another? Well, here are two substantiated claims that actually mean something if you need roof repair or a new roof. With a family-owned business tradition of over 80 years and 80,000 satisfied customers, you can depend on Frederick Roofing, residential or commercial.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blues.
NMLS 114937. Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl. low maintenance, and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
It was right at the time when the internet was just coming. It really sort of shaped so much of a new culture kind of about this thing of people becoming famous for basically doing nothing, but yet having these incredible careers. And it's really hard. I always say I feel so lucky that we got a little taste of the industry before it became what it is today, which is just different. More streaming services, more people. You're famous from TikTok, you're famous from YouTube, you're famous from Instagram. It's sort of, it's almost like it's diluting the actor's job.
Famous people lamenting other people being famous for not the right reasons. I mean, when you look at our culture today and you see that everybody is waiting to become a star, doesn't it kind of explain all of the other cultural problems that we have? Let's ask our friend, Fox News contributor Tyrus, about that.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Host of Tyrus and Timpf, along with Kat Timpf, and he's on Gutfeld. He's a Fox News contributor, and he's an author of a book, Just Tyrus, a memoir, which you've all read already, and you need to buy it and read it again. Tyrus, welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure.
You know, Jennifer Aniston there sounds very forlorn about she's super famous, but other people are becoming famous too for what I will sum up as lame reasons. We are a culture that is obsessed with ourselves.
Well, no, I think we're a culture that is obsessed with watching people obsessed with themselves. I think everyone loves the train wreck, and being a joke or being something that you watch and be like, wow, man, my life is not that bad. I mean, I guess it's a celebrity, but I think it's one of those things that when you're celebrated for the wrong reasons, and you don't recognize that's a problem. You know, if I was cheered for every time I made a mistake at a box or fell or said something dumb, you know, yeah, I'd be real popular, but that's not really what you want to be famous for. You know, and we've kind of gotten away from. And the same thing, why do actors have to be famous? It's a job. You're an actor, so whining about people are getting in the light, I really don't. It's a first world problem. It doesn't really matter if you're popular or not. Does it really matter? I mean, I guess if your job is based off people buying tickets, then yeah, you should probably get out there and work well and make people want to see you based off your skill set. But as far as like, oh, boo-hoo, other people are popular, it's not what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah. Tyrus is joining us right now, and he is a Fox News contributor. I'm curious what you think about the juxtaposition of celebrity culture and politics, because there definitely are, there's 435 people in the House of Representatives. How many people can name five reps? There's a lot of people who go into government who don't have massive social media followings. They're representing their district and so on and so forth. But the industry, which we are both a part of, lifts some of these people up. Some of these people seek it out quite a bit. Does that get in our way of the government doing what it's supposed to do and serving us as opposed to kind of turning it on its head so we can serve them with attention?
Well, I prefer to have a congressman or senator that I don't know much because he's doing work. And I know him through his policies. And when I see things I voted for come to fruition, I'll be like, you know what? I really like that politician. The problem is we pay too much attention to the politicians who don't do anything but get in front of a camera and spew their stuff, their beliefs, or whoever is supporting them or donating to their campaign. I would imagine that, unfortunately, the idea where you're on camera so everybody looks, again, at the car wreck, opposed to celebrating the driver who never gets a ticket, never has a fender bender, has an excellent driving record, and gets people to where they want to go. We spend so much time and energy on the person who peels out before they take off, and then when they run into a wall, we all want to look. And unfortunately, and that's on Americans. That's on us. Voting for somebody who you like the way they look or the weird things they say, but you don't look at what they're doing in office. That's unfortunately they're benefiting off our laziness. We have to treat our politics it can't be a popularity contest. And when I say that, it sounds weird because you win based off being most popular, but it needs to be about what's best for you, not what's cool or whatever. And that's an issue because Americans get caught up in, you want to vote for your favorite star. And there are celebrities who've made great transitions. I think Ronald Reagan is probably the greatest, but he wasn't an actor who just walked up one day and decided I'm going to run for governor or I'm going to run for president. He did the work, and he wasn't up there doing actor things. He wasn't, he was being a president. So I think he understood the difference between the two. And I don't know, this feed me now, I can't wait generation that we're having, especially with media, is kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Tyrus with us right now, as he is each Thursday. I think I look at most of it I consume through libs of TikTok on Twitter, but these people who are, if you are having the worst day of your life and you decide to get in your car and film yourself having a breakdown, I mean, there's a disconnect about that. It makes me not believe it. Because if I were having the worst day of my life, or if I were having what amounts to a mental breakdown, the last thing I would want is for people to see that. I don't really understand where we got to the point that showing our biggest weaknesses, our most vulnerable moments, that is what we elevate as a society now, and strength is shunned and shamed, it seems like. And I kind of want to go back to where we celebrate our strengths. I think that should be okay.
Well, if you're having the worst day of your life and you have time to film it, chances are it's not as bad as you thought. So
simply stated.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever had a really bad day and been like, people want to see this?
Your best friend has moved into your house. He's raising your children under his moral values and compass now. Your wife has already changed her name. They've moved it over, and Fox was so impressed with his brashness, they have given him your spot on the show. And you have 6 months to live.
Ugh.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me get my phone on. Hold on. Let me
check the lighting.
Okay. How's my lighting? All right. I'm a little sweaty. Can we get this gloss off? And then, no, oh my God. No, that's not the worst day ever. We like attention seeking, and they will create dramas to the car alone with their phone on for people to tell them how brave they are and how great they are and subscribe to them because they want instant attention, and nothing gets more attention than when somebody's crying. People stop what they're doing. The problem is eventually when they realize that you are a crybaby who cries for attention and likes on social media, eventually they will move on from that.
Yeah. I hope. I don't think
elect them in office.
Yeah, exactly, because that's happened also.
Yeah.
Tyrus, when I think about when I watch you on Gutfeld, we have comments here, people who are listening now, and Mike says Tyrus is so down to earth. I love it, and he's asking me to get you to St. Louis. We're going to work on that.
I'm coming to St. Louis August 27th.
For what?
I am defending my World Television Championship at St. Louis at the Chase. I will be there the 27th and 28th. So, we got a big pay-per-view. It's always sold out. So I will be in town for 3 days. So we definitely have to figure something out, and you have to come. So
I'm August 27th, 28th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. Well, let's do it. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to mark that down, and we're going to make that happen. I think that what people appreciate from you is your willingness to just say what's on your mind. And then when you say it, a lot of other people are like, yeah, that. And I have to tell you, Hannah was scrolling through our Instagram account, and she caught this clip from your Instagram account. And I have to just play this here for you.
If you identify as a woman and you have prostate cancer, is the guy going to look for the prostate cancer? No, I identify as a woman, so I don't have a prostate anymore.
Yeah. So, okay, sir, you have breast cancer in your balls.
Yeah, there you go.
Tyrus, you have a way with words, dude. And people are here for it because everybody else is afraid to talk like this and just say what they feel. And I don't know if you're just unafraid of what comes back at you, but you resonate with people. And I hope you understand truly how much people are refreshed by your willingness to just speak.
So, that joke, I laughed so hard because it's just, okay, so I don't write anything down. I don't write anything down. I don't have a script. I don't have writers. I don't even have a secretary. I do everything on my own.
You got kids, make them do some of it.
Yeah, they don't think I'm funny.
Oh.
So,
then they're your kids for sure.
The last time my daughter was at a show with me during a commercial break, she's like, "Dad, you've got to be funny. This is not funny. Like, you got to be funny." I'm getting bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'll make some more Jurassic Park jokes when it opens. So I never know really what I'm going to say. That thought was in my head, and if you're watching it, I'm fighting myself. Like,
you can see it.
And then I eventually go, you know what? I don't belong to anything. I don't answer anybody.
I will die on this hill.
I'm just going to sit it, And then once I said it, it was just because the crowd laughed, but then it's like some of them didn't quite get it, and then they all of a sudden they got it, and then the whole place just fell out. We had to take it. We had to take a few minutes to keep the show going, and and I think probably, I always forget her name, but she ran for president, and she's from Hawaii.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Gabbard, who's the most classiest, one of the smartest people you're ever going to meet.
Yeah.
He just yelled out shit and started laughing. So I accomplished the goal. Sorry for cussing, but
we got
you have to just speak. You have to just speak it. I don't belong to it. Nobody supports what I say or like asks me to say anything. So, and I can't be anything but myself. And that's probably why the only place would hire me would be a Fox News. You're not going to see that on CNN or MSNBC. So it's just who I am, and trying to be something you're not is just too much work. I've failed enough. I've been fired enough to where the idea of needing people to like me is just not important to me.
Yeah.
It's
well, and you can check.
Well at night, and
you can call scoreboard because people are watching and they're tuning in. And that's a testament to what you're doing. Certainly what Greg Gutfeld is doing, who we still need to get on the show. But it's refreshing to watch. And I just want to tell you, keep on keeping on, because people are here for it.
Well, thank you. And you keep doing you. That's why we do this every week.
I love it. Well, August 27th and 28th, I've already got people in the building messaging me about this. So we'll make it, we'll get it done.
Good.
All right. Talk to you next week, Tyrus. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's hilarious. And sorry for that. I think we got it.
I hit the button.
Yes.
So
I think we got it. Let's take a quick break. Our next guest, Maggie DeJong and Gregg Walters. Maggie is a graduate of the she has a Master's of Art Therapy program at SIUE. And she, along with the Alliance for Defending Freedom, are suing SIUE because she says that she was censored. We're going to talk with Maggie and her attorney with the Alliance for Defending Freedom, Gregg Walters, when we come back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022. Coverage sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes.
Slim 180 online at myslim180.com. A great opportunity for you to go and see the same place and participate in the same program I am participating in. I have lost 20 pounds in less than a month, folks. It's real. I've done what they've told me. I've been talking with Trish this whole time, and she's always helped keep me on track and celebrate my victories. And by victories, I mean my losses. And she can help you with that as well. There are 6 locations for Slim 180: Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, St. Charles, Creve Coeur, Chesterfield, and Florissant. And they are offering 35% off on all new programs right now. Reach out to Slim 180 and get the process started for you. Sit down with them, a free consultation to go over what can help you lose the weight that you've been trying forever to shed and it hasn't gone. Or maybe you've never taken this step and now you're saying, yes, let's do it. Let's lose the weight. Reach out to them online to find out all the information at myslim180.com.
Update your lighting with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Ultra-thin wafer downlights from Juno are the quickest option for new recessed lighting. They're easy to install anywhere without the need for recessed housing. Provide bright, energy-efficient light for any room in your home. Save 11% on all recessed lighting. Good through June 19th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Attention business owners with more than 5 employees that were impacted by COVID. You may be entitled to up to $26,000 per employee through the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program, even if you already receive government PPP or ERC benefits. Call for a free consultation, 800-222-9000. That's 800-222-9000 to see if you qualify for a cash payment. No recovery, no fee. Call 800-222-9000, 800-222-9000, or visit COVIDTaxMoney.com.
There's a clear choice for Congress. Mary Miller voted with the Socialist Squad to defund our military. Like Joe Biden, Miller coddles criminal illegal immigrants and says it's our responsibility to care for them. And Miller knowingly hired a convicted pedophile to be her driver and allowed him to prowl our neighborhoods and put our kids at risk, abandoning our troops, giving aid to criminals who illegally cross our border. Embracing a convicted pedophile, fake conservative Mary Miller can't be trusted. Conservative Congressman Rodney Davis voted to strengthen our military and give our troops a pay raise. Davis voted for President Trump's wall and to cut off funding for sanctuary cities. And Davis is endorsed by the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police because he's tough on crime. Rodney Davis is the strong conservative that Illinois families can trust.
I'm Rodney Davis, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
Did you know there's a Space Channel?
One of the most exciting projects in the solar system.
Space Channel's got movies, original series, news, music, and so much more.
We have come to visit you in peace. Now we're getting to what they call the moment of truth.
Download the Space Channel app on your connected TVs and mobile devices. Just go to the App Store and search Space Channel. Do it now. It's free.
Space Channel. Front row seat to the final frontier.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
Can you fix the car?
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for spending some time with us. We've had a packed show, and I want to get straight to our next guests here. Maggie DeJong joining us, along with her attorney, Gregg Walters, from the Alliance Defending Freedom. And Maggie is a fellow, I'm a Cougar alum from SIUE, and she's got a story to tell here. And we're going to talk to Maggie and Gregg both about this issue. Maggie, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Well, thank you so much for having us on.
I appreciate that. And Gregg, thank you also for being here, especially representing Alliance Defending Freedom. And Maggie, we appreciate your time.
You're welcome. We're happy to be here, Annie.
All right. Well, Maggie, let me give you the opportunity to tell me a little bit about your story and what you experienced here at a local university right across the river, Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville, that's moved you to the place where you have filed suit.
Yeah, so, I was in my third and final year of my graduate program for art therapy counseling, and I was wrapping it up, so graduation was on the horizon. And going into this program, I went in with the mindset that it's university, so diversity of thought is welcome, and that's truly where learning comes into fruition. And so throughout my time in the program, I participated in classroom discussions in which we discussed contentious issues such as race relations and religion in the postmodern theoretical framework. And I was shocked when I had received 3 no-contact orders that prevented me from having direct or indirect communication with 3 students on and off campus. So essentially, these were restraining orders. But what's concerning about this is that the university can ban students from having communication with students or fully participating in classroom discussions simply for expressing their views.
So, Maggie, before I get to Gregg on the legal side of this, what kind of views did you speak on that were so disconcerting that 3 people needed to be kept from you?
That's a good question. Well, they had followed my Instagram account, and a lot of those views reflected my religious beliefs and my conservative views. There was one instance in which a girl had reached out to me asking about my Christian views on something, and I had responded with inviting the conversation. I was so grateful to be able to actually discuss this and have that dialogue over it, but I had told her that my personal held beliefs are grounded in objective truth by the gospel of Jesus Christ. And not long after that, that very quote that was in a private message was put on an art installation piece in the department building, and the title of it was The Crushing Weight of Microaggressions. So that very quote that I had was deemed as a microaggression.
Talking about your faith in Jesus Christ was a microaggression?
The quote that she had received from me, yeah, that was my personal held belief.
So Gregg Walters with Alliance Defending Freedom is part of the lawyers representing Maggie in this lawsuit. Tell me, Gregg, what is the lawsuit here? What are you suing? What are you suing for, and what do you hope to get out of this?
Yeah, so there are 2 overarching claims. We're suing under the First Amendment for violation of Maggie's free speech rights, and then also these no contact orders, which are really the equivalent of the restraining order, but they're just issued by a university. The university issued these against Maggie without giving her an opportunity to defend herself or scheduling a hearing immediately after issuing them for her to defend herself. So we're also arguing that they have deprived her of liberty in violation of the Due Process Clause.
Gregg, is this something that is part of Maggie's permanent record at the school? Like, what was the mechanics behind with which the school levied this against her?
Well, what's interesting in today's electronic age, I don't know what isn't permanent, even though if the university would say it's not permanent. Interestingly, they copied on these no contact orders based on Maggie's speech. Now, that's what's important. These no contact orders were issued for nothing more than Maggie's speech. They copied the university police department on these. So the fact that these emails, these no contact orders, are copied to various departments in the university, I don't care what the university says. That is maybe not part of their official record, but it's certainly something that is permanently out there. As far as what we're seeking, most importantly, we're seeking for the university to change its policies. If we're naive if we're thinking that Maggie is the last person whose speech is going to be censored by the university, right, left, center, whatever it is. When you have university students that say, perhaps very easily today, that I'm offended by speech, and if I see an ability to get you to stop speaking to me through the university, we're going to have students seek these no contact orders more and more. And in fact, we have another case out in Idaho that is very similar to this. So this is not unique. And then in addition to that, we're asking to make Maggie whole. One way to make university change is to seek damages against them. Change your policies or it's going to hurt your pocketbook.
So are you suing SIUE specifically? Is it broader than that?
Well, yeah. So we're suing school officials in their individual capacities. 3 school officials, the then chancellor who's since retired, the Title IX equal opportunity official, and then one of Maggie's professors, each individually for violating her constitutional rights.
So, Maggie, I'm curious in your conversation with this individual who posted your quote for all to see, as I understand this, do you believe that if you were of a different religion making a statement on whatever you were speaking on, that it would have been permitted?
I don't want to speak for them because I don't know exactly how they would respond if it were a different religion, but I do know that my religious beliefs were viewed and deemed as harmful because they went against the university worldview, and that's what's concerning. And honestly, the university should be a marketplace of ideas, and what was being had there was an echo chamber for one ideology, and I didn't fit in with that ideology.
So just to reiterate, Maggie, you had somebody reach out to you about something you posted on your social media. A classmate, is that correct? A classmate reached out to you about something you posted on your social media?
Yes.
And then they, challenged you of sorts on something that you had said, and you engaged the conversation that they brought to you. And then they took your response, made it public. And the immediate response was you were notified about these 3 no contact orders. There was no discussion between the university or a mediation of sorts, no attempt at any of that. It just was immediate no contact.
Well,
it was a little bit. So sorry, Maggie.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, it wasn't quite immediate based on that, but it happened shortly thereafter, Annie. And she was not. None of these 3 students went to her and said, "Stop talking to me." That's what's important. They went instead to the university, with one of them with a formal complaint claiming Maggie's posts about her religious beliefs and about her political beliefs constituted, quote, religious harassment in violation of the university policy.
Well, I've seen this covered on the national scale, Maggie and Greg, and we are going to watch and see what the Alliance Defending Freedom does here in our own backyard. And Maggie, I'm sorry that you went through this, and we hope to see more from your case here shortly, and we'll welcome you back as it continues to progress.
Well, thank you for that.
All right. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for having us on.
Thanks for having us on.
All right. Bye-bye. It's very frustrating to me that this is happening right here. We hear stories. I mean, like I was talking earlier on the show about libs of TikTok. You see what these people are saying into their phones, and the educators, teachers of young children, what they're willing to say into their phone. I mean, it's so absurd that you're like, this can't possibly be real. This cannot be real. And it happens over and over and over again, but it always feels like it's something that's outside of your little bubble or my little bubble. And this is within our bubble. And if there are, I'm a graduate of SIUE. I am proud of my communications degree from SIUE. I'm one of many people in my family my husband has multiple degrees from SIUE. I'm proud of that. But if they have rogue educators at that school or rogue employees at that school who are choosing to bully and ostracize students, tuition-paying students, for their beliefs, that needs to be called out. And we on a much larger scale need to stand up to this kind of behavior and make sure that everybody knows this is unacceptable behavior. This is not how we treat people. And especially in a university setting, just like Maggie was saying there, you would expect diversity of thought to be upheld more there than anywhere else. I mean, I remember being in college in like the early 2000s and being kind of shocked at what people were willing to openly talk about. And that's where discussions like that happen. And you start to, form thoughts for yourself based on the diversity of thought. They don't teach you how to think anymore. They teach you what to think. And this is the result of it. I'm interested to follow her case. Maggie DeJong and Gregg Walters there with us. Gregg with the Alliance Defending Freedom, who is representing Maggie DeJong in this case. We'll follow it. We're going to continue to touch base with them and see how this case is progressing and see what the university does in response. We're going to take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show. The Mark Reardon Show.
The only place you saw it was Fox News Sunday, but that's not really surprising at all. But, Meet the Press this week, Face the Nation, CNNC, The Union, nothing on the threat to Brett Kavanaugh.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
This is Andy Berg, board-certified master arborist with Hanson's Tree Service. Maintaining healthy trees in our urban environment is a challenge, and our trees often don't perform how we'd like. Go to hansonstree.com to find out how we can service your trees today.
So I want to talk to you about Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and the family business at Retirement Advisory Group. When you work with Thomas, you're going to put yourself in the hands of a very experienced team, a very experienced business that knows how to take an economic uncertain time like right now and make you just whistle on past because you have it on lock. You know that you have invested in yourself over the course of decades to save for this time that's right around the corner, retirement, and you know that you're protected. That's what Thomas Helbig does for a living. He takes people exactly like you and gives you the exhale where you can breathe that sigh of relief knowing that you are going to be taken care of because you have taken care of yourself. Thomas Helbig secures that for you. You can book a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review with the fine folks at Retirement Advisory Group when you give them a call at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. He'll give you a copy of his second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. And you can do that all by scheduling that appointment today online at retirementkey.com.
Hi, guys. It's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED, but what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvest Town Auto Body in St. Peter's did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Oh, Adam, you are so romantic. And I love the kitchen you found with all these great crumbs.
Yeah, baby, only the finest crumbs in the kitchen for my favorite aunt.
Did I just hear a car door slam?
Oh no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show.
I've been trying to do it right.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed. So show me family, all the blood that I will bleed.
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other things I want him to. He'll talk about anything that I want him to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain.
And that laptop is what's the opposite of a gift that keeps on giving?
Some sort of curse?
Curse that keeps on cursing. At least Hunter Biden. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Ryan Wiggins in here. We've pushed, we got Roy Blunt. If you didn't hear Roy Blunt, I talked to him for, a long time. He kept going.
All of the time.
Every second that we had available into the hard break at 12:45. And we scheduled that pretty late. So we have Wiggins America coming up at about 2:05. So you're going to want to stick around for that. It's going to be a good one. And, I was going to play the sound yesterday and I didn't get around to it. But today's YouTube live chat poll, have you voted in this one yet?
No, I haven't.
Is pursuing the Hunter Biden topic going to politically benefit or harm the GOP?
Oh, that's a good question.
And you have on here yes or no, which is not a possible response to this question. That's what you wrote on the paper.
Oh, that's my fault.
I think it's going to benefit. I think it's going to benefit because there's such intense detail about foreign money that has to be investigated. You can't just let that go. And it's for years. It's not just a blip.
What do you think?
Will it benefit them? Only if there's something illegal.
Politically benefit or harm the GOP?
Only if there's something illegal in that laptop, and I cannot imagine that there isn't evidence.
There's a lot of illegal things.
Yeah, but that links Joe Biden.
Yeah, that they're Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Still, if they're illegal and they're Hunter Biden, shouldn't Hunter Biden have to pay for those, or does he
absolutely should?
Even if it doesn't connect to Joe Biden, shouldn't he still be accountable for the things that are on that laptop?
And that shouldn't harm the GOP for pursuing justice.
Should they pursue it just for this cause? Should the Republican Party pursue this simply for the sake of Hunter Biden if there is no direct smoking gun?
Are you talking about hearings and stuff like that? Like like what we're seeing with January 6th. I think
Anything.
I think that it should be criminally pursued if there's criminal actions on it. And if it's just Hunter Biden, I think you don't have to put it up at the front or out front. I think that's a bad idea. I think you just put it into the justice system and let the justice system take care of it.
Everyone else talks about how can you be as good as your dad? I'm better than my dad. You know why I'm better than my dad? Because my dad tells me I'm better than him since I was 2 years old. So all of those fears that you think that I have of people not liking me or that I don't love myself, and first I have to go down and you have to really care about yourself and understand and put yourself out there. Baby, have you seen me? Do I not put myself out there?
Yeah, I do.
What is she doing?
All of it I put out there.
Yeah.
To you or to the homeless person. I don't fear that. You know why I don't fear that? Because the man I most admire in the world, that God to me, thinks I'm a God. And my brother did too.
Maybe that's the problem, is that you're referring to him as God.
It's absolutely the problem.
I mean, he's a powerful guy. I'm not
And
saying that
himself.
he hasn't been for your whole life. You've been in the shadow of this person, but when you cross over into godhood, maybe that's why you're feeling the empty hole in your heart that you're trying to fill with drugs. No, that's what has got him in trouble, is that he continues to pursue money to fund these habits, and his dad, apparently very lovingly, has allowed him to do it, and he's used the political strength. I mean, that's why this crosses in, to answer your question, Annie, why Congress should investigate this, is because it does involve Joe Biden. If it were just Hunter,
Well,
you're
they
talking
need to be
about,
able to prove it.
yeah, you're talking about criminal behavior that probably isn't a congressional investigation.
If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck in court, you still have to prove that it's a duck. So you have to, beyond a reasonable doubt. I hate congressional hearings and testimonies on all of this stuff, because whatever happens, whatever materializes from it. And if you look at what they're capable of doing in a political way, they impeached Donald Trump 2 times on completely baseless grounds. Twice. Couldn't get a conviction in the Senate, but 2 times they went through the whole rigmarole. How much money did that cost the American taxpayers to go through all of that nonsense to impeach the president? Why? Because a different political party wanted to benefit from it. I mean, that's what matters to these people. And to me, the Hunter Biden thing needs a John Durham, a special investigator who America can trust. And I don't trust John Durham, but I don't have an obvious reason not to trust him yet. My default is not to trust, but he hasn't done anything that's made me go, oh, absolutely. He's a partisan. You know, it makes me think he's not worth. I think he's doing a good job. I'll just put it that way. If Congress wants to bring all of the Hunter Biden stuff into play, which they won't be able to do until they win the midterms, which they will. All they need to do is win that in the House. And right now, what's a 4-seat deficit because of that 1 seat that they just flipped?
Yeah, and it changes again in November. So yeah.
Well, January.
Yeah.
So this won't happen until January. Do I want to find out what the actual connection is? I really do. And I think that the country, I do believe that it probably is bigger than Joe Biden. I don't think that Joe Biden can be the vice president of the United States and be flying on Air Force 2 to China with Hunter Biden on board. And Hunter Biden comes back with the biggest deal of his life and say, oh, that's just Air Force 2. Like, that's not just Air Force 2. That stuff, I mean, it's not known.
Right.
It's out there. So if it's not just Joe Biden, the reason to investigate this is to find out, provably with evidence, the connection between Joe Biden and his influence as an elected official of this country, and how he has used that influence to line the pockets of his son, which we do know his accounts were connected How do we find out all this information? We prove it. And then what? Do we put Joe Biden? I mean, real question, like, what is the outcome? Does Joe Biden, is his legacy tarnished? His legacy sucks right now.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Is he going to go to jail? Because he probably should.
He should.
And if it's just that they're going to impeach him, then what's going to happen is it'll just be, well, you impeach my guy, I impeach your guy. So that's not really accomplishing anything either.
Which is why the question is, will it politically hurt?
Well, what
the
needs to
GOP?
happen is what you're saying is, and I don't know if Congress can do this because they don't run the DOJ, but they need to have a counsel outside of themselves, like a John Durham. And here's what's sad. They should just be able to turn these things over to the FBI.
Yes.
That's already happened. The FBI was called first thing from the laptop guy.
We talked to Hans von Spakovsky earlier. We were talking about the January 6th hearings. And I said, it really feels like in this country, we have a two-track justice system. Is that the case? And he didn't say it was. He said that when you have the right guy in there leading the Justice Department, you have a good attorney general. When you have Bill Barr in there, he was a guy who, asked Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not really a huge Bill Barr fan right now.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Barr stuck to his principles that he based on his responsibilities. Didn't matter who liked it and who didn't like it, which is why I always liked Bill Barr. And then at the end, I felt like he kind of just was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
and then
really.
at least speak more on it and speak up on it. But when you have Merrick Garland in there and you've got people threatening the lives of Supreme Court justices in protests that have been encouraged by the media and encouraged by the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate and other politicians to say, go be heard. This is a really important issue. This is a righteous protest. Go do it. And Merrick Garland chooses not to do anything. If we're going to live in a society where justice is based on one guy in one position, that's a two-track system to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it showed that that's where we're at, because you have to appoint a special counsel to get anything done. And then, like you said, do we even trust the special counsel? I don't know. I mean, Robert Mueller ended up being fairly trustworthy because he concluded the truth.
Who appointed Mueller? Because
that would have been the head of...
Comey?
Was it Andy McCabe?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was him.
Comey?
Because it would have been the DOJ.
It wasn't Sessions.
Right, because Sessions recused himself,
Oh,
and then
gosh,
we got
don't
one.
even. It's the worst thing that happened in that administration.
Yeah, it wasn't Sessions, because if it was, that would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that stock market though.
Oh man. Do you still have that clip of him going, well, the stock market's good? Is that Joe Biden?
Yesterday.
I mean, it is what it is. This president is not in touch with reality. And we all sit here and what are we going to do? Wait for him to show up and say, things are going to be good today. And we're all going to go, oh, thanks.
Oh,
thanks,
good.
Thanks, Prez. Thanks, POTUS.
Well, not today, because we got time difference. He's talking to Saudi Arabia.
Begging. Sending letters to our people saying, do your patriotic duty.
Please pump more.
What a disaster.
Yes.
What a disaster. We're going to play a game in Wiggins America when we come back that Ryan made up. Brace yourself.
Here's what happened in Richard Irvin's Aurora in the summer of 2020.
Police say 3 of the vehicles were set on fire and destroyed. Shots were fired at police twice. People hurled bricks, glass, and rocks at officers. Police blame protesters for at least 2 fires in the city.
This is what Richard Irvin later said about the rioting and looting and violence in his town.
My downtown just on fire, people running around destroying things. I was conflicted. In one sense, I'm the mayor, and I'm saying this can't happen in my city. On the other hand, I recognize that unless there's some type of disruption in what we want here in our country, things won't change.
Richard Irvin calls violence and looting a legitimate disruption. This is what happens when you put someone who calls himself a strong and passionate supporter of Black Lives Matter in charge. Don't let Richard Irvin let Illinois burn like he did Aurora. Join Illinois conservatives in voting no to violence and lawlessness by voting no on Richard Irvin. Paid for by people who play with the rules back.
Diabetic neuropathy, cold feet, resting leg pain, foot wounds that don't heal. These are classic signs of peripheral artery disease, or PAD. Left untreated, PAD can lead to gangrene and even lower limb amputation. Modern Vascular is a healthcare leader in the outpatient treatment of PAD. Last year, over 10,000 patients across the country chose Modern Vascular for the diagnosis and treatment of their PAD. Modern Vascular clinics consistently receive high Google review ratings and have received over 500 five-star patient reviews in the last 12 months. In fact, Modern Vascular has been recognized as the best PAD treatment specialist in the country. If you or someone you love is experiencing the symptoms of PAD, don't ignore it. Visit modernvascular.com today or call 844-4PAD-HELP to schedule a consultation in our local clinic. That's 844-4PAD-HELP.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you've bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call Attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A renewed plunge on Wall Street. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Back to worrying about the Fed's plan to fight inflation. The Dow's down about 900 points.
Democrats spent 2021 trying to respond to inflation with even more reckless spending. And now they are spending 2022 trying to respond to a looming recession.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell rejecting the president's insistence that Russia's war in Ukraine gets most of the blame and that oil companies and refiners should be doing more.
With the oil that's out there, we need them to refine that oil so that the capacity could go up and then prices would go down.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says the Energy Department is working on a meeting with oil companies. The U.S. Senate signs off on the so-called Burn Pits bill, which would expand veterans' benefits.
A broad bipartisan vote in the Senate advanced legislation changing long-standing Veterans Affairs benefits to include dozens of exposure-related illnesses connected to burn pits.
We haven't been recognizing the toxic wounds of war, and that will end today with the passage of this bill.
Senate Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman, Democrat John Tester, led the effort with top committee Republican Jerry Moran.
There's no doubt that the cost of taking care of our veterans is high, but the truth is, freedom is not free. We say that. This is evidence that we believe that.
The House is now expected to pass the bill. President Biden has signaled his support.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill. The Capitol Riot Committee accusing the former president of a scheme not to certify the Electoral College results and a pressure campaign on then Vice President Pence to carry it out.
He resisted the pressure. He knew it was illegal. He knew it was wrong.
The committee chair, Congressman Benny Thompson, Pence's chief counsel, telling the panel he started asking questions about his role in early December. America is listening to Fox News.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Rising home values mean that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about their smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Giving it your all on the court? Make sure you have the right partner by your side. Highland's Leg Cramps Quick Dissolve Tablets. America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. No water needed, no stomach upset, just fast, effective relief. Also available in caplets. Highland's Leg Cramps. To healthy competition and beyond. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS. Claims based on traditional homeopathic practice, not accepted medical evidence, not FDA evaluated.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Summer continues to be alive and well. A mix of clouds and sunshine, hot and humid this afternoon. Just a tiny chance of a spot thunderstorm. 95 today. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a spot thunderstorm late night, 75. Friday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Tiny chance of a spot thunderstorm, 95, but it's better, feels better anyway, on Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
Today's inflation report confirmed what Americans already know. Putin's price hike is hitting America hard.
The New York Times buried this. If this had been a liberal Supreme Court justice that someone came to kill, it would have been on the front page.
Right here, right now.
This is a partisan political witch hunt. It truly is a political circus. Look no further than the fact that they ran it during prime time hours.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T. Euro Health.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments and get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
Leaving a child in a hot vehicle can lead to their death very quickly. Set cell phone reminders or place something you'll need in the back seat so you don't forget your child is in the car. Look for your baby before you lock. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Men suffering from ED or PE? Paramount Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest in non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 314-720-8093. That's 314-720-8093.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Ball's on, he's on Twitch, watching us on Twitch right now because we're streaming on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Says, sometimes I wish when Annie walks by Wiggins, she would just slap the back of his head.
You get more views. You would have less co-hosts.
Would I?
Yeah.
If I didn't do
I would
too
protest.
Hard? You would?
Yeah. I mean, if you just started punching me for no reason, I would probably be like,
punching,
you know what? I probably need to step out.
Just a little backhand.
Yeah. Well, if you started open-handed hitting me like UFC, I would also maybe leave.
They don't open-hand hit in UFC.
Yes, they do. It's like this.
No. No,
yeah,
don't.
it is. They
no,
don't. They don't. They
Great
don't have
radio.
fists.
It looks just like this. Pause.
You know what I mean?
No,
they got
I don't.
Knuckles
I don't watch
down,
UFC.
palm open, knuckles down.
No, this is about me slapping you in the backside of the head and whether it's good for the show or not.
I'm talking about form.
What's acceptable?
Neither.
Just checking. Paul, see what you started? I'm just saying.
Balls.
It could happen. We do have a special guest in the studio with us. Anna is in here. Yeah, you heard that right. Anna. Hannah is here too.
I am.
And so is Annie, of course. So it's the Anna, Hannah, Annie show. And Brian.
Featuring Brian.
Anna, your official title with the radio station now is what?
Is a digital content producer.
Digital content producer, which is exciting. That's kind of what I did for the station for 10 years before I did the on-air thing. So we're excited to have you on, and you sit right outside of the studio. So we thought we would bring you in because today we're going to play a game that Wiggins made up, and this should be great viral digital content.
Well, is it a game or is it, I don't know. Is it information or is it a game? I don't know. It's presented kind of game showy. I can tell you that.
Okay.
It's Wiggins America.
So we went in on that with Wiggins America. We got rid of the typical Wiggins America open for this one. So my question for you guys.
Thanks for the explainer.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Inflation is really high.
How high is it?
Glad that you asked.
I forgot my responsibility.
Yeah, everybody did for about half a second. What's he doing? Oh yeah, the
One job,
thing.
Annie. One
We
job.
all went at different times.
That's such a layup that I could have not even told you ahead of time I was doing that, and
I
you would have
would've
had to do it after I said that.
This is actually my idea.
Okay. Yeah. She sent me one article on Monday. She's like, you know what'd be funny with this one? And so I had to fill in the rest of all of this is the rest of that.
I sent it on Monday, and you'll notice we're doing it on Thursday.
Well, I had to fill it in. There's a lot more than just here's an idea,
Hey,
slap to the back of the head.
How high is it?
How high is it? Uber and Lyft drivers are beginning to protest in some states due to high gas prices. So if you're having trouble finding a Uber or a Lyft, it's because simultaneously to gas prices rising, Uber and Lyft are taking away fuel surcharges for the drivers.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So while drivers used to, as I did, I used to drive Uber and Lyft once in a while.
Yeah.
Would you be protesting right now?
I think I might. I mean, this would be one of those
Passively.
things where you'd say,
He'd be
yeah, you know
grumbling to
what?
himself.
Behind the wheel.
Instead of
Grinding his teeth.
Stupid Uber.
Stupid Uber. I'm not driving you anymore. I'll show you next Saturday. Doing it this Saturday, though.
Oh.
So that's the first one. So if you're having trouble I actually don't know if Uber and Lyft have gotten harder during the COVID era. I would think that it has because I drove it pre-2018. And since then, I would think a lot of people got scared to even have people in close confines with them. And so I don't know. I've heard that it's a little bit harder, but I haven't tried
Hannah,
myself.
do you Uber a lot?
I do. Me and my friends Uber. Last Saturday, we got an Uber, and this guy had a whole setup in his minivan. It was like looked like a plastic, or not plastic, like a tablecloth that you would have at a picnic that he cut a hole in
to keep COVID away.
Yes.
Whoa.
I've had that too. And it was a whole setup. But he cut.
Did you give him
But he cut a
COVID?
hole in it. Like,
And
what's the point?
have you?
What was the hole
Yeah,
for?
right. It's like the
Actually-
hole in the sheet after you get married, right? I think that's an old Jewish tradition, right?
What?
I mean, it's not exactly like that.
Stop.
I will stop.
Anyway, back to the Uber. Has it gotten harder for me to find them?
Anna, do you Uber?
I Uber all the time.
So is it harder to find a ride now?
I think it is.
Really?
It's more
Yeah.
expensive.
I was gonna say, does it cost more?
It's definitely more expensive.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll start driving it again then.
Especially after I slap your head and you got to quit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Protest.
Going back to Uber. Okay, so inflation is really high, you guys.
How high is it?
So high that even Snoop Dogg's blunt roller got a raise. There, you happy now? Inflation is hitting everyone hard, even Snoop Dogg. On Tuesday, the rapper tweeted that even his professional blunt roller got a raise.
Oh, man, what's he make?
Between 40 and 50 grand a year, and it's going up from there. 40 and 50 grand to just roll Snoop's you got to be pretty rich to have
You would be
just a
doing
guy
lot.
doing that.
That seems like a pretty high demand job.
Well, that's
Definitely
true.
a full-time job.
That's
Especially
true.
for Snoop.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know how to roll a blunt, but I guess I could learn. If this doesn't work out, that's ridiculous. 50? You said $50,000?
Well, between 40 and 50. Yeah, we don't know
Oh,
exactly,
man.
but Snoop Dogg revealed in 2019 that he had a full-time staffer whose sole job
I wonder if he gets
sole
benefits.
job is to roll his blunts. on
He
Howard
probably
Stern.
just gets weed.
And then
that's probably good enough.
This
for him.
is the follow-up to that. So that was revealed in 2019. So this guy really does exist apparently because now he's getting a raise.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's a real job if you're on the staff
just like all of us.
of the Snoop DOWG. Hey, you know what, guys? Inflation's really high.
How high is it?
Casey's gas station pizza is even going up.
No,
not the breakfast pizza.
I can't
Yeah.
eat that right now.
For
Let's talk all about it.
All of our rural friends whose the only pizza in town is Casey's.
Man, if you're an urban person and you haven't had Casey's pizza, road trip.
Yes.
Breakfast pizza.
Breakfast pizza. You got to do breakfast. You got to do breakfast.
Anna, have you ever had Casey's pizza?
No, I've never had it
Are you a
before.
city girl? Suburban?
Yeah.
Suburban.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all pretty much suburban here. It's
You've been
worth
to a
drive.
Casey's, right?
No.
You've never been to Casey's?
No.
Oh, man. Okay, well, road
I
trip.
know. Now I need to try it.
As soon as I get off this diet, I'll bring in another pizza. I've done that from time to time. It's delicious.
Have you ever ordered a breakfast pizza for dinner?
I don't know if I've ever.
Because they don't just serve them
No.
past breakfast hours. You got to order it.
Yeah, I have ordered pizzas from Casey's, but I don't think I've ever ordered that for dinner.
Yeah,
But
it-
I am totally not opposed to
I
it.
will tell you, I did it multiple times back when I was not, I was trying to lose weight. Now I'm trying to lose weight. Back then, I didn't care.
What about the
now? I
gummy
look
bears?
really good. No, I don't. That was a different conversation. Off air, we were having a different conversation
Oh.
about gummy bears.
You said I'm literally trying to gain weight.
I know. I know. Complete 180.
Yeah. Slim 180.
No, but it's actually the yes. I did that on purpose for you.
You did not. You did not.
Do you know which ingredient is causing the rise in prices? Because there's one ingredient in particular that's
For the
causing this.
pizza?
Yeah.
Eggs. Is it eggs?
No.
Oh.
Wheat.
No.
Cheese.
Cheese. It's the cheese.
Oh, yeah.
The
Well,
cheese
actually,
is
that's
causing it
terrible. I
all
should
to go
not
up.
be brought that.
You experienced that, didn't you, Hannah? Expensive
Hannah's
cheese. You can't get
set
any.
for the cheese, happy for herself.
Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah.
he was talking about my DM last night about cheese.
Oh, don't get her started on her
She
I
put
will
a picture
contain
of her quesadilla up, and it was pathetic.
Taco Bell quesadilla.
Yeah. So it's cheese prices. You had the tortilla.
Remind
so
me
the wheat's
later
fine.
that we owe Steak and Shake another conversation.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I've been contacted. We'll talk about that.
No kidding.
Put a pin in that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a little.
Okay, please. All right. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think inflation's pretty high.
How high is it?
Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT prices are slumping.
I don't even know what you just said.
Yep.
Wait, what? Bored ape?
I don't know those words.
Crypto, if you're not following crypto, it has experienced a complete tank in the last couple
Yeah.
weeks. And I don't know
That's
why.
nice.
I've been following that, and there's really no explanation for it, but people are just scared of it. But a brutal sell-off this week for NFTs. Do you want to explain NFTs?
I don't really understand them completely outside of it's a digital picture that you can buy the rights to, but you don't actually own the picture.
Scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that on Venice Beach in California too.
Yeah. I just wrote my name in Paint.
Take a
on
picture of
Microsoft
it,
Paint.
sell it as an NFT.
I'm going to sell it as an NFT.
I know that it's a real thing, and I know that people are into it, and I am not one of them.
Wait,
I-
our digital person.
Are
Can
do
you
know
explain
anything about
NFTs?
I really don't know anything about it.
I would like to sell some and make money.
Me
Anna.
too.
Me first.
I called it.
I called it.
NFTs are non-fungible tokens. That's what they stand for. But they're apparently just an original, I guess, version of some sort of picture or whatever. And you buy it. You're buying a digital nothing.
Then what?
Well, the bottom fell out of the market, so I don't know what.
Really?
I'm so shocked
Yeah.
that there was a market.
Yeah. Well, you heard that. I think it was Bieber bought one of the Bored Apes.
Uh-huh.
The picture of the Bored Ape.
Yeah, I know which
for
one you're talking about.
crazy amount of money.
Then what?
Nothing. You own a digital copy of something. Again, what the
I
heck?
can screenshot. I can
Yeah,
own
it
a lot
just
of
doesn't
things.
make any
exactly
sense.
it.
Yeah. Well, don't. Well, actually, now would be a good time to buy them because the bottom fell out of the market.
For people who are just tuning in, they're asking who's the other person in the studio with us. It is Anna, and she is a digital content producer for 97.1, and we asked her to come stand in here.
Yes. Yes. So, inflation's pretty high, you guys.
How high is it?
The price of gas, it's hitting gas station owners. You wouldn't even think about this, but with the price of gas being higher, credit card fees are higher while their margin is the same.
Oh.
So they're hitting hit on all this stuff. Plus, if you make a lot on your inside stuff, you're having trouble getting the product. Everything is higher price. Your margins are just down. They said they're struggling across the board.
People don't have money anymore to buy a Polar Pop.
Well, that's what they're saying too, is that people are just not spending as much and coming into the store as much either because they're just less.
You laughing
Man.
at Polar Pop?
Yep.
I love Polar Pops. I can't have that.
I
either.
went into a gas station the other day to buy a 20-ounce Diet Mountain Dew. It's
Who
like
buys a 20-ounce fountain soda?
I didn't buy a fountain soda. I was just buying a bottle.
Who buys a bottle in a
Me.
gas station instead of a fountain soda?
Me, I don't have self-control, so I got to do it that way.
No.
I can respect that. 'Cause I would go 44-ounce foam soda.
Well, listen,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go 44 ounce from now on because whenever I bought it in the bottle, it was $2.87,
That's crazy.
and it's $1.87 out here, and I thought that was high.
Yeah, no kidding. You got to stock up, hoard the
Yes.
stuff out of the E-Mart in
Yeah.
the cafeteria here.
Get the biggest foam glass you can and then save it for several days like Andy does.
That way, it's flat.
Yeah.
Foam glass?
What?
Foam cup, not glass. Sorry, I said glass. I said foam and glass. The
Talk
stupid
more
way
about
to say it.
NFTs. We need to know more about
Yeah.
that.
This is the last one. This is the last one. And it's because it gets to the point where you look at a lot of these articles and you're like, you could just plug in any word and say inflation has raised the price of blank because it's everything.
Yeah.
But inflation's really high, you guys.
How high is it?
It's raising noodle prices worldwide.
No.
Yeah, and it's
not the
really
noodles.
hurting Eastern nations like China, who use noodles in so many more dishes than we do. World's hundreds of millions of noodle eaters face a rise in the price of their favorite meal as producers look to heap surging wheat, energy, and transport costs onto consumers. This one was interesting, and I ended on it just because it's interesting to see that the rest of the world is dealing with some of these problems too, because we talk about them as being American problems, but they are everywhere because the whole world did the same thing as we did because they always look to us for advice on everything. Oh, what's America doing? A lot of people just do that. We spent a whole lot of money to tell people to stay at home. Almost every nation in the world did the same thing. So they're all dealing with inflation right now.
What's your favorite way to eat noodles?
Ramen,
Really?
fancy Japanese style ramen.
Not
Not the
Munchin
old
or whatever.
Yeah, not the old packages.
Favorite way to eat noodles?
Soba noodles.
What?
Soba? It's a Japanese noodle.
Yeah, it's good.
And I don't know what my wife puts on. It's like a vinegary soy mixture that goes on it with some chives. It's
Interesting.
really good.
Anna, favorite way to eat noodles?
I feel like I eat them different all the time. I find all my recipes on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's never been said on the show before. That's Anna, the digital girl. We got her in here. Hannah, what's your favorite way to eat noodles?
Macaroni.
I was going to say mac and cheese has got to be up there. It's got to be up there. That's probably mine as well. All right. Inflation's pretty high, and now you know how high.
Now
it
you
is.
know. 'Cause
Now
before you
know.
didn't.
No, you
Now you do.
Yeah, that's why you listen to the show, to find out that everything costs way more than it used to be. Let's take a quick break, and more Annie Frey show right around the corner. Go vote in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Is pursuing the Hunter Biden topic going to politically benefit or harm the GOP? Yes or no? I just make me laugh every time. No, it's okay. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll for Brad. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show. 97.1 is St. Louis's radio destination for information with perspective. It's where St. Louis and beyond comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
So when I talk to you about lakeside renovation and design, I want you to think right now about the energy efficiency of your home and how hot it is outside and the cool air that's seeping out of your old dingy windows. I have some in my house that I can tell they're losing the air and they are going to need to be replaced. If you are looking for a top of the line window replacement for your home, I want you to consider the very best in the business, the people who work for Lakeside Renovation and Design, and the product, the Infinity from Marvin Fiberglass windows, the best possible material to build a window from that provides stability, strength, and aesthetics. They're beautiful windows, and they are going to make your house shine. When you are looking for the energy efficiency that you need to make sure that all of that cool air you're pumping into your house stays in your house, and that upgrade of the way the windows look inside your home and outside your home, Lakeside Renovation and Design is the solution for you. Make an appointment today to start the conversation. 636-978-5000. That's 636-978-5000. Online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey everyone, I'm Ron Darling. And I'm Jimmy Rollins. The official baseball rulebook is full of all sorts of strange rules. But the unwritten rulebook is even weirder. We each come from different eras, and we each were taught to play the game in different ways. In this new podcast series, we're going to break down all of the unwritten rules that govern the game, from throwing out a batter to stealing bases during a blowout. Check out Unwritten from Odyssey and MLB. New episodes start June 1st. Find it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional. Lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494, or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Adam, man, your aunt parties are the best. I mean, you always find the best kitchens with all the crumbs. That is why you always have a million aunts at your parties.
Thanks, man. I love finding these homes to do this at.
Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out, so please visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
All around the world, statues crumble for me. Who knows how long I've loved you? Everywhere I go, people.
Brian on the Annie Frey YouTube channel says, I have to try this Casey's pizza. I don't believe it's that good.
You're wrong. It's really good.
It is. Hello? Hi.
Hi.
Even non-breakfast. Hello.
Anybody home?
The regular pizza is really good too, but
It's
the
really
breakfast is just a special thing. You can't get that in most
If
places.
somebody was going to drive destination Casey's to get pizza And Casey's, if you're when we're saying Casey's, it's a gas station convenience store. If someone's gonna drive, I mean, you can get it by the slice, which I love because sometimes you want a piece of pizza, but it's not really something that's easily accessible just immediately. If somebody is gonna make the trip to get a piece of pizza, should they get a piece of pizza or should they order ahead and get their own pizza? Which is the better experience for the first time?
No,
get a piece.
Order ahead. Order ahead because that pizza is made for you and it's fresh. The pizza by the slices.
I've never had a non-fresh piece of pizza by the slice.
I have, but I go at weird times. So
you picked the wrong piece.
Well, when there's like only 2 left.
Yeah. What time is this?
I don't know. It's
After Taco Bell. Slice you again.
Yeah. No. It's usually like off hours and like about midway between like a lunch and a dinner, and they just haven't replaced it yet.
So you think they should get a whole pizza?
Get the whole pizza.
What pizza?
Taco pizza.
No.
Yes.
I don't know if I've had that.
I'm not
their
I'm
taco
not
pizza
opposed
is
to the
next
taco.
level.
You need if you're gonna order the pizza, you need to get, I guess, a taco pizza, and then a pepperoni or sausage, whichever one is your favorite. So you can just like, here's your standard. Just give the pizza a try. Just comparing it to every other pizza that's out there. A pepperoni piece of pizza.
I disagree. I think you need to go straight with breakfast.
But no, that was the other thing. Is that you have to try the breakfast pizza.
You do.
Yeah. Because if you go in with expectations that you're going to get something, if you go in just getting a sausage pizza or whatever, or a pepperoni pizza, you're going to like it. But if you go in something completely different, that's an experience.
I'm saying that I think Casey's Pizza is a superior pizza.
No argument.
And it's a different kind of pizza. It's not like something else that you're getting elsewhere. Like we talk a lot about Emo's and we love Emo's pizza, but an Emo's pizza and a Casey's pizza are different types of pizza.
They're different meals.
Yes,
entirely.
It's an entire, and like when you're craving Emo's, you only go to Emo's. You don't go to anywhere else to get that Emo's pizza. You get it from Emo's. Casey's is a different kind of pizza, and I think it is a superior level pizza. So that what I'm saying, what you should do is I would say order a breakfast pizza for yourself and get a slice of pepperoni to eat on the way home, or sausage, whichever is your favorite.
I just think that the best way to experience it the first time is to pull it out of that rotator. That's
the convenience.
That's the way you're doing it.
And the quality of what you get is right there.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, we complain a lot about. We're obviously connoisseurs of very fast food that is not so much fast anymore, or fully stuffed with cheese the way it's supposed to be. Hannah,
that was an amazing picture.
That was really. I might have to post it.
You should post it on the Instagram page.
I should. It was so bad. Like I think there might have been like 3 sprinkles of cheese on there
in one whole slice of that quesadilla.
And it didn't even look like it was the right cheese. It looked like it was just the cheddar cheese that you get on top of the taco. It didn't look like the 3 cheese blend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a little much there, Brad.
Listen,
Brad worked at
I
Taco
used to
Bell.
work there.
Oh,
Brad worked at Taco
I didn't
Bell.
know that.
Yes,
I worked there and I worked at
This
Casey's.
is why it's literally personal to Brad.
It is personal that they broke up with me. They won't take my order anymore.
Brad, I also must say I had to go to 2 Taco Bells last night to get that cheese quesadilla, because the first one I went to, all the lights were on and everything. The drive-thru was lit up.
They say, "Are you friends with Brad? We won't take your order."
No.
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
No, but the workers were outside smoking by the trash can and not inside. So then
Probably didn't want that food after that anyway.
No, I pulled up to the window too, was looking in there, gave them the eye, weren't in there, and then
And they didn't, after you gave them the look, didn't go, "Oh, I would love to help her."
No, they cowered in the corner.
Yeah. So
hide! Everybody hide! Hannah's here.
It's Karen.
Hide!
You know what we should do? Instead of making the tacos for a little bit, let's go smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. I said that in the story of fast food anyway. I mean, I think that's a new thing.
That was the worst.
Okay, we're going to talk about Steak and Shake.
Please.
We didn't have a flattering thing the last time to say about the drive-through line.
We like the food.
But we all said that the food is great.
Yes.
The food is destination food.
Yeah, agreed.
So I got a message and it said, "Okay, Steak and Shake franchise partner here. Please let me clear the air here after that segment." This is from the last time we talked.
Ooh, they were listening.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Said that the Festus and Arnold Steak and Shakes from box to leaving, and I'm assuming that box means the little voice talkie box that you talk into to place your order, to leaving, 3 minutes and 50 seconds drive-through time.
If that's true, that's fantastic.
And so this is specific to the Festus Steak and Shake and the Arnold Steak and Shake.
Mm.
And he said that I want to make sure I don't read something here I'm not supposed to. He says he like gets the reputation. He understands that the reputation out there isn't great, but specific to the Arnold and the Festus locations, they have turned the corner, and they are very focused. He basically said they're like want to be the Chick-fil-A of burger joints.
Wow!
I don't know if he said this. Can you share? Is he a new owner or?
He didn't tell me when.
Okay.
He really wanted to stand up and speak up for Steak and Shake, which is a beloved institution in the St. Louis area. We still have one in the area, drivable distance from where I live, and the drive-through line there has been. It's taken too long, too many times for us to go there if we have anything else to do that day.
Me too.
Because it could be literally 30 minutes.
Yes.
It's not an exaggeration.
No, it's not at all, because they have the clocks up inside. You can see them, right? They have one of yours?
I think so.
In the drive-through window, you can see the clock, and you can see how long that you've been waiting.
But in Festus and Arnold, Brian, who is the franchisee there, said that it's not that way there, and they know that they're working against kind of a bad rap, and they have done everything they can, and that their team is all on board, and they want the opportunity to prove that that's not the experience you're going to have there.
I appreciate that guy. I appreciate that message, because that means he is working hard.
Yes.
And
which is why I wanted to talk about it.
He's a local business owner, and he's trying to turn that around. Good for him,
Brian.
because I think everybody in this room wants Steak and Shake to be good, because we want to eat Steak and Shake.
Yes.
We like the food. Especially, like I said, they still have one of the best deals in town for their $4 meal. It hasn't changed price like everything else has. I'm not going to say it too loud. Maybe there's less items available than there used to be. I don't know.
Unless you add cheese, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
He says, love your show. Have listened to it since day one. Just come and see what our values can do for a once failing company. And he wants us to make a special trip. So that's like nowhere near where I live. But I said, if I'm ever in a position to go out there, I'm going to.
Heck yeah.
So Festus and Arnold Steak and Shakes. Both of them, Brian, as a listener to the show, if you're in that area and you have the opportunity to stop by and get a $4 meal while they still last before Ryan screws it up for everybody, and enjoy it, please tell them that you heard about it on the Annie Frey Show, and please let them know if hopefully that experience that he's talking about is the experience you have. But what a welcomed, I want to put spotlights on people who know what everybody's dealing with right now, and know that, like, for me, I'm a family of 6. If my parents come with me, it's 8. If my husband's parents come with us, it's 8. If they both come with us, it's 10. There are many restaurants who will not allow us to sit in the same table. It's stupid COVID stuff, or they don't have I don't know why a server can't, if they can do 1 table, why a server can't do 10. I mean, we'll be patient. We understand what's going on. We just want to sit down and have a meal together. Places aren't open past 8, sometimes 7.
Sometimes 6.
Yeah, that are supposed to be open till 10 and 11 o'clock at night. Like, we are people who, we go to baseball games. We don't get back into town sometimes till 8:30. And in the summer, if the kids ate a snack before the game or something like that, you don't want to load them up with food and then send them out into 98-degree weather or whatever. You give them a healthy snack and you eat on the way home. There's nowhere to eat but fast food restaurants or home. But by the time, I'm just saying, 6 people with a baby in the family, you don't really want to go home at 8:45 and crack the kitchen open.
Right. The spotlight on the service industry, I think, is important. Have we cracked the idea that Freddy's is the Steak and Shake alternative? A lot of people on the chat mentioning that.
I think Freddy's is great.
I think Freddy's is a combination of Steak and Shake and Culver's mixed.
I do too. And we just have one open right down the street from our Steak and Shake. So,
but I also think that Steak and Shake is different. I think that the atmosphere is that I like.
Oh yeah.
My grandma, who passed away when I was 18 years old, she used to love to go to Steak and Shake. I would take her grocery shopping and help her with her grocery shopping, and we would go get Steak and Shake afterwards. And I just always loved the diner atmosphere.
Me too.
To me, it feels, and my family loves Freddy's too, but for me, it feels like more of a dining experience. And Freddy's feels more fast food. And while they might serve the same kind of food, I think that Steak and Shake is distinguished from that. And then it's a St. Louis institution.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So I'm glad to see, because you mentioned he said at the end of that message something about a once failing company. That's why I bet he is a recent franchisee, because Steak and Shake has gone through a lot of trouble in the last about 4 or 5 years and had a lot of turnover with people. I think they're trying to do the Chick-fil-A model. I'm not sure if they've completely adopted
we've
that.
made the choice to be the Chick-fil-A of burger joints. And I mean, that's for him and his, I don't know that that's what anybody other than Festus and Arnold are doing at the Steak and Shake, but compliments to Chick-fil-A for one, and two, identifying the reality of the situation and making a decision on it and trying to provide people better service, because you can even provide mediocre food right now and get away with it. That excuse has been something that through COVID, people have gained a lot of patience with whatever people were dealing with, short-staffed. A lot of places were just closed, so you couldn't access things. So as people started opening up, maybe the staff didn't come back all the way, but being able to access good food, the service is what I think has been secondary to the food. And to notice that, I think that is a smart model to get people coming back to your place. Because if you go to a place right now, 54th Street in Edwardsville, I went there weeks back, I think it was Mother's Day, and had great service, great food. And I asked to speak to the manager afterwards just to tell him that. And he was terrified when he walked out of the kitchen. And I just said, I want to let you know that we went to multiple places to eat, and some people wouldn't even sit us, and you did, and it was a wonderful experience. And I just want you to know that, because I want them to value that so they do more of it.
You know, I did the same thing at the Raising Cane's that I went to on Tuesday night after softball. They were so good. They were so polite. They it's midnight and they're happy to see me. And you could see in and everybody's working really hard.
That's rare. Just having somebody who's polite.
And I told him, I said, look, things are tough right now, and I appreciate you guys for being awesome. And I said, you have great spirit, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And they were blown away that they heard
they don't know how to react to that because they don't get it anymore.
A lot of people dogging on different issues they've had in the past with Steak and Shake, but like in the food, here's an interesting one though. Pete C says never had a problem with the Steak and Shake in Arnold.
There you go.
How about that?
Maybe that's the guy who's been running it the whole time, and he's had the right focus. I mean, if there's an institution like Steak and Shake that you like, and you want to be able to enjoy that food, those franchisees need to do what they're doing at Festus and Arnold and win it back. And people want to be won back by places like Steak and Shake because it's good stuff. All right, let's take a quick break. Hannah will have the YouTube live chat poll, the Anti-Fry YouTube live chat. Go vote real quick before we get the results from Hannah. Is pursuing the Hunter Biden topic going to politically benefit or harm the GOP? We'll be back in a minute.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Reardon Show.
The only place we saw it was Fox News Sunday, but that's not really surprising at all. But, Meet the Press this week, Face the Nation, CNNC, The Union, nothing on the threat to Brett Kavanaugh.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Closet Factory, you can find them online right now and learn everything about them at closetfactory.com. I want you to understand how simple it is to go through the process of Closet Factory coming to your house and magic wand making your space organized and specific to you. Reach out to Closet Factory at 314-961-4300. That's 314-961-4300. And when you do, you're going to get paired with somebody who's going to come out and assess your situation. As they've told me in the past, they're going to tell you, don't clean up all your problem areas because you got company coming over. Let that sit so that they can understand where the problem areas are. And you'll quickly see how when you put this customized storage into your laundry room or into your master closet or your kiddo's closet or into your garage, how it domino effects into the rest of your home, because now things go in their place and you have more room. It's an amazing experience. You can do it on a budget-friendly path. You can fix it up and dress it up to the nines. But you got to go with Closet Factory. St. Louis family-owned and operated business. 314-961-4300. Online at closetfactory.com.
If you're planning to sell your home in the St. Louis area, now may be the best time to capture the highest sale value before the market changes. Mark Cox here, and according to industry experts, the real estate market has shifted. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty agrees with that. She also has options to help every type of home seller because she understands every situation's different. If you need to sell your home fast, but you're worried about finding the next home, Gloria has the answers and the solutions. She has an instant cash offer program that gives you above market cash offers. No showings, no hassles. You pick the closing date, even up to a year, giving you the cash and the time you need to find that next home. Call Gloria today about that instant cash offer and her guarantees and her other options that'll help you sell fast for the most money. Call 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Frederick Roofing, wherever you live from. Olivet to Ellisville to Pear and Jennings. O'Fallon to Overland, wherever you live. Maryland Heights to Manchester, the name you know. Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing.
St. Louis, Missouri, 314-645-2000.
Frederick is the gold standard for roofing and perhaps priced a bit lower than other bonded and insured roofers. When you invest money into fixing a hole in your roof or putting on a whole new roof, you want the peace of mind that you'll get only with Frederick Roofing. Plus, you can always depend on an immaculate cleanup when the job has been completed by Frederick's own licensed and insured crews.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Did you know there's a Space Channel?
One of the most exciting projects in the solar system.
Space Channel's got movies, original series, news, music, and so much more.
We have come to visit you in peace. Now we're getting to what they call the moment of truth.
Download the Space Channel app on your connected TVs and mobile devices. Just go to the App Store and search Space Channel. Do it now. It's free.
Space Channel. Front row seat to the final frontier.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
You were too bad for a little square town with your hip-hop hat and your pants on the ground. Heard you cussed out mama, pushed daddy around before you tore off in his car.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Running these dirty old streets, tattooed.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Got the hood here snow, but you can't fool me. We both know who you are.
Mike on Twitter tweets at us at Annie Frey Show. Have been to both Festus and Arnold Steak and Shake locations, and they are stunningly fast. Thumbs up. So
yay!
We've got people weighing in and saying that is the case. So every day we do a YouTube live chat poll. If you haven't gone and voted yet, or if you've never dabbled in participating in this part of the conversation, you just go to YouTube, type in Annie Frey, Frey, and you'll see that we have a live video going every day from noon to 3 right there on the YouTube channel. And in the live chat section, we have a poll. Hannah always gives us the results in this segment. So what do we got?
The poll today is pursuing the Hunter Biden topic going to politically benefit or hurt the GOP? 77% of the people said it's going to benefit the GOP, and 23% of the people voted that it's going to hurt the GOP.
So, Ryan, you said you think it will benefit.
Yeah, and I think it's important distinction to make that the question isn't should they pursue it, it's will it politically benefit them? And I still think the answer is yes. I do think it will politically benefit them because I think there's enough there for it to hold its own weight.
And Brad?
My answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just yes.
Just yes.
Don't elaborate, please.
I'm not going to elaborate.
We're not talking about this at all.
Yeah, I think there's a political benefit to it.
I think that I think that it could do either one, and I just assume that the Republicans will screw it up.
That's a possibility.
I mean, if it becomes a air quotes witch hunt for Hunter Biden, and they don't get to the substance, the evidence of the connection to the then vice president of the United States and then candidate for president of the United States and then president of the United States, if they can't make that connection, the Democrats are going to turn that on its head and play a sympathy card for Hunter Biden as somebody who suffers from addiction, lost their mother when they were very young, a sibling, and has led a pretty rough life in life experiences that has been subsidized by addiction issues and money and saturated with that. You said something earlier in the show, Brad or Ryan, when we were talking about this, and you were talking about how he was filling his hole with drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. And I actually think, while that's not
the hole
wrong,
in his heart.
Yes, the hole in his heart. I actually think I think there's something way more important than that fits into this context, is that the hole in his heart is I don't think he understands what it means to be loved in any capacity whatsoever, because the Biden family as a whole, and this is not specific to the Biden family. There are Republican families that have this same issue, and I've heard stories privately about just trouble that goes on when you have people in a political family where the politics is always the pursuit. It is the thing, it is the goal, it's the primary priority. And if you're a kid and you lose your mom at a young age, 2, wasn't he in the car?
I don't remember.
I think so.
I think so.
He was in the car.
That is so tragic. I don't care who you are. I would never, ever, ever wish that on anybody. I can't even begin to understand what that would feel like. Within months of that, Joe Biden, I believe, like, ran for Senate.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like immediate. There was no time off. There was no time to take care of the kids and, to hold your family together. And, who am I to judge somebody else's family decisions? But somewhere down the line, there has to be an obvious about face that home is not okay. What's going on the home front is not good. And in my life, for my family, if I were pursuing this career and it took me, beyond sitting in this studio right now, or had to travel a lot, or a different career that would have me travel a lot, and it wasn't okay at home, I would have to give that up. As a mother first, I don't know how you don't do that. And there is instance after instance after instance where Hunter Biden had enormous troubles as a child, growing up as an adolescent, into high school, drug charges or drug issues on his record. I mean, as a kid, and he was never steered away from that, never effectively so. And it almost seems like they pushed him into rehab, according to the Fox Nation special, which I watched, and I would encourage you to watch it as well. I mean, most of that special is in Hunter's own words because it's pulled from his laptop, which has been verified. Knowing that, like, the way they pushed him into rehab there, like the most recent time, they dropped him off. They didn't even make sure he went in the building. He never went in the building. He got in a hotel. He checked into a hotel and went on a multi-day bender, and nobody even knew that he wasn't in rehab. Like, that's not love.
Yeah, there seems to be a recurring throughout the I watched that same special, and we've all seen lots of different things about it, but there seems to be a recurring theme where it's, we do care about you, but do they care about him more than themselves? And I can't answer that question, but like you're saying, that happens a lot in families of high influence, high wealth, and a lot of publicity. So it's not exclusive to the Bidens. It's just
not at all.
These are problems that when you have these things in tandem, they tend to produce problems especially with the kids.
And you have to give up everything to make that the priority to help fix it. You have to sit there with that person and hold their hand through it. And it seems to me, in my armchair psychoanalysis, that he needed somebody at a very early age to stop and hold his hand.
Yeah.
And nobody ever did that. And when there was a crisis that involved his troubles, which I think that a lot of Americans can look at Hunter Biden and have sympathy for him because they know somebody in their own life who has suffered from the stuff that he's suffering from. I think that they see that and it makes them sad. Like I said this on the air the day after I watched that documentary, but I wasn't mad at Hunter when I got done. I was so incredibly disappointed and disgusted in Joe Biden. As a father, I don't understand it. It's so sad to see how many times they had the opportunity to choose their kid and they chose the career.
Yeah, and so many times after so many times of trying, maybe this will work, maybe the rehab will work, maybe this will work. If it doesn't work, it just becomes, especially in a highly influential, rich family and political, so you got to save face all the time. It becomes appeasement. So you got to just do things to sort of get him through the next thing, right? So he's constantly in crisis. How do we get him through this next crisis? When you turn and you start looking to enemy governments to provide that appeasement of money, that's when it's like, okay, all those personal problems that you had just crossed into national security issues. And I think going back to the poll anyway, that's where, like you said, Annie, the GOP, if they're going to investigate this, they got to live right there.
If the hearing whatever the investigation includes public airing of him laying in bed with crack pipes and prostitutes and all of the stuff that goes along with this incredibly sad life, that is not going to be an effective avenue for the Republican Party to go down to, first and foremost, get to the bottom of it and find out how far does this go? Where are the definitive evidentiary connections, and expose all of that. If the Republicans are able to, and heck, Democrats, if they're interested in the security of the country, should be involved in the way that this January 6th hearing is not presented.
Exactly.
They should be able to be there and to push back and to defend their side of the issue. And we should have a real expose on the government influence that may have been corrupted. And if it goes, and if the Republicans are able to pull that off, it's a win. It's a big if.
It is a big if. They've got to go in. They've got to be preparing now if they want to utilize their time, because they're going to have, you think you're probably going to have in the House, probably 2 years for sure, of a Joe Biden presidency with a GOP-led House. They got to be preparing this stuff right now to hit the ground running, because they're not going to really be able to do a whole lot else with Joe Biden president other than look into these kinds of things.
Kathy on YouTube says, sorry, Annie, I have no sympathy for Hunter Biden. He has made money hand over fist with his connections. Joe is a horrible father. I do have human sympathy for somebody who's lived his existence, because I have a fraction of the money that he has, and I've felt more loved every day of my life. And that is priceless. And I feel sorry for people who don't have that and who don't have God, it would appear. So I do have sympathy, and I understand if you disagree with that. Did you have any comments you wanted to read here real quick from listeners?
Fedora Hero USA from YouTube says,
good name.
Yeah, we'll take
pursuing the
Fedora
Hunter
Hero.
Biden story will benefit the GOP, which is why mainstream media ignores it.
Yeah, it's probably a good place to start. You got another one?
That's
Gary?
a good answer. That's a good answer to that poll, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Gary from YouTube says, I think pursuing Hunter Biden will be a waste of time if it doesn't prove Joe Biden is corrupt. So I don't think it will help or hurt the GOP.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like good old Missouri phrase, show me. And if you can do that, do it. If you can't, don't go there. But the political benefit, if it doesn't politically benefit the Republican Party, they might still be responsible for doing it. They should still do it.
Yeah.
The political benefit isn't the only reason to or not to do something. Hey, folks, stick around. The Mark Reardon Show is next.
I tend to second guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon